स्टार्ट हो गया इसकी माँ का। या आ जाओ, आओ ना। कैसे हो पटेलो? आ गए क्या स्ट्रीम पे? आ गए आ गए आ गए आ गए आ गए, आ जाओ आ जाओ आ जाओ आ जाओ, राजा की प्रजा में आ जाओ, आके सभा में आ जाओ, बैठ जाओ सब लोग। नाक में से उंगली निकालो, पेट पे से उंगली हटाओ, पाँव नीचे रखो, पाँव के ऊपर पाँव को रखो, सुकून से बैठो। आज होगी तगड़ी वॉच पार्टी। आज मैं बैगन यूनाइटेड को जिता के सोतो। बेस्ट ऑफ 3 है, इजी विन है, बेस्ट ऑफ 5 है, सॉरी 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 सॉरी, इजी विन है। मैप्स कौन से है मैं बोल रहा हूँ, उन लोगों को समझा दिया। फिनाटिक को मैं बोल दिया, बोस्टर से मेरी बात हुई थी अभी तक। Poster be like, yo, Nepop, last time you didn't do the watch party, we felt bad about it. I'm like, mate, I was a little bit busy with something, or like a little bit caught with something. So this time, I'm free. I'm gonna watch party. I'm gonna fucking support you. आओ आओ आओ, मैप्स जल्दी, मैप्स 12 मिनट है और तब तक अपन करेंगे क्या गाइस? 12 मिनट तक एक दूसरे की शक्ल देखेंगे क्या ऐसे? ठीक है ना, शक्ल देखने में क्या ही है। तुम लोग वॉच लाइक मारो पहले। 100% करेक्ट अम्मा, इधर तो 110% करेक्ट। लाइक मारो, हाय हाय लिखो, हाय हाय लिखो। Everything is meant to fun. रुको रुको, देखो मैं जुगाड़ कर दूं। मेरे फोन में से एक वॉचिंग लगा दे तो 1 वॉचिंग आती। दिमाग, मेरे जैसा दिमाग नहीं है तुम लोग का, नहीं मेरे जैसा दिमाग किसी के पास नहीं। अल्बर्ट आइंस्टाइन भी मेरे के आके पूछता था। मैं रेशियो सेट नहीं करा फिर से। ठीक ही है ना, इसकी हाई लिखूं? भाई फैन आया यार चैट में, फैन आया चैट। थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक यू यार, थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक यू। अब क्या मसला है इन लोगों का? अरे मेरे बाला में गली हो गए बुट्टे लोग। बॉल्स 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 बॉल्स। डिस्कॉर्ड में देखेंगे क्या? थोड़ा मीम्स देखेंगे, चला जाओ। एवरीथिंग इज कल कल कौन कौन था स्ट्रीम पे? कोई देखा मेरी कल की वीडियो? यार वीडियो देखो यार तुम लोग जाके, प्लीज शेयर करो जितना हो सकता उतना।
मेरा गन है, दिमाग खराब करने की जरूरत नहीं है।
एक तो उंगली नीचे करके बात कर।
फैमिली फ्रेंड स्ट्रीम है भाई।
This video is not for the dirty-minded. If you're a pervert, please scroll away now. In the park today, I saw a pretty chick, so I sat down next to her and showed her my magic trick. She laughed at my jokes and said I'm full of wits, but I couldn't stop looking at her very nice outfits. What I did next gave her a shock, because all of a sudden I pulled out my pet rock. She said she came from North Carolina, then brought me to her home and showed me her set of china. Later, while fixing her spoiled doorknob, out of nowhere she started giving me a rant about her job. We sat down on her sofa right next to T-Rex, but it didn't take long before we started having a fight over what to watch next.
5th क्लास में बात कर दो था ऐसे में। 5th class.
What if every Valorant agent were female?
Nah.
Washed down
चपड़ी साइफर अच्छी है, साइफर अच्छी है। साइफर अच्छी है भाई, क्योंकि दोनों की शक्ल नहीं दिख रही।
तो खेतीबाड़ी रिलेटेड ब्रांड है, उसकी ऐड सुनो।
चलो मिट्टी की खुशबू बढ़ा दे हम।
अब इसी ऐड का मल्लू डब वर्जन सुनना।
రండి మట్టి సుగంధాలు పెంచుదాం మనం, రండి సంతోషాలను పంచుదాం।
मलयालम नहीं लोड़े, तेलुगु है। क्या गया गया। अच्छी किसकी माँ का इतनी जोर से आया, माँ की। अरे येलो लाइन कैसे हटाओगा इसे, बॉर्डर पे येलो लाइन्स कैसे आ रही है? ये येलो लाइन्स क्यों आ रही? तेलुगु डब को मलयालम डब बोलता है, छोड़िया।
Fataki makichu, 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 fataki makichu.
स्टार्ट करो ना, इन लोगों को देखेंगे तब तक क्या बोलते हैं।
Lifting that trophy with a team that you've been battling at for an entire season, knowing so well and learning from you.
Going into today is Miniboo being the rookie last year, Kayak now being the rookie this year as Fnatic's duelist. So I think for me, what Kayak provides is so much more in terms of his agent pool,
Benji Fishy?
flexibility. We've seen him
भाई आज
be
तो आ रहे हैं
consistent
भाई ये
as well,
लोग।
which is the main thing. Whereas Miniboo, I need to see that
आज तो ये
consistency.
लोग
It
पक्का आ रहे
is a
हैं भाई।
scary thought to put it like this, because
भाई
what
केएल
this
भाई,
means
congratulations
is
केएल राहुल
if
भाई।
Fnatic get into
केएल
our
राहुल
hands,
भाई,
we lose.
congratulations
Because
भाई। क्या मारा
strategically and on a
क्या
macro
मारा?
level,
क्या
they are
मारा?
stronger than
क्या
us.
ही मारा?
You know, like they think
खोल
about
दिया,
the game and
खोल।
they think within the game of how to find solutions maybe they cannot
भाई
find.
केएल
And I'm
राहुल
not
भाई
going to
सच
take
में
this, you know, like
रेस्पेक्ट रे। क्या खेलते रहे हो, क्या खेलते हो? 199 पहुंचे 100 मारने के बाद भी। स्टॉप जाके 2-6 मारा, वेरी गुड वेरी गुड। मेरी राउंड थोड़ी दिक्कत है। आई नेक्स्ट समीर आशुतोष, इन लोग को आने देना, शोध देना था। 172 200 नाइस वन। ट्रिस्टन स्टॉप्स को स्टॉप अच्छा खेला। एवरीथिंग इज नॉट मां किया। इसका ही मैच चल रहा, तुम लोग मालूम है गाइस, पीआरएक्स और डीआरएक्स का।
Many star shining players that they don't have to always rely on, say, your duelist like Miniboo. We've seen clutches from
क्या
Riaz,
दिख
we've
रहा
seen
guys?
an amazing
कौन
impact
जीतता?
from Benji the past few days, and even Boo as well. In the whole team.
कौन जीतता, क्या दिख रहा? बोले बाला एकदम लंड जैसे। Everything is so good. अरे इसके बारे में मेरे जैसे
We're
गाइस।
seeing there. First of all, these snipers, he feels so comfortable. If you give him
Same
that freedom,
नहीं, वाला
Miniboo
है,
will be the
इसके
kind of
कहाँ
player
है रे?
that looks at you making a mistake
same
and
नहीं
he will
है।
capitalize.
Same वाला है दोनों
100%
के।
of the times he will go for it.
अब
He will
देखो,
try.
दिख रहा, दिख रहा,
And
दिख रहा,
you
दिख रहा,
better
दिख रहा ही नहीं।
pray he doesn't get you, because he snowballs very, very fast in games.
And somehow Fnatic just
See
knew where to
मेरे
stand,
बाल,
you know,
मेरे
last
और
time they
उसके।
played against each other on that
See।
fracture. Now tell me
मैं
the
सलमान भाई
differences
ऐसे।
in how Fnatic is utilizing Kayak compared to Heretics using Miniboo.
I think that actually yesterday we saw some of the changes that Heretics were probably
Start
making on that.
करो, जल्दी
First of
start
all,
कर
if we
तो।
look at Kaya like pound for pound, as Billy was saying,
अरे मेरा
the
अपना नहीं
hero
रुक रहा
pool
है
has been
भाई,
a little
जल्दी
bit more
देख।
flexible. I think that Miniboo is better when he's put in a position to
तुम लोग ये
succeed in
देखो।
an agent that he likes, that
तुम्हारी
has a
हरियाणवी
lot of
दिखाता हूँ।
mobility and whatnot. And I think that Kaya is a little
Kajak?
bit more of a Swiss Army knife.
फर्स्ट मैप कौन सी मैप डिसाइड हुआ?
Also, the difference is that Miniboo will most likely be playing within the pack. Like he will be set up with
आज पहली बार फर्स्ट
Brimstone,
मैप से
with,
स्ट्रीमिंग कर
of
रहा
course,
हूँ
the utility
मैं।
and
फर्स्ट
playing
टाइम
within
एवर
this kind of setup. On the side of Fnatic, it's more about the mid-round in. We can put and fake some sounds, we fake some noise, we get a kill. It really looks like Kayak is going for everything, setting up the wall and setting up a lot of situations. But in the end, it's about the mind games for him.
I think for me, like, for Kayak, the big thing I've seen is just like the development and the confidence and being able to be calm on that stage. I think back to Ascension Grand Finals last year when he was at Apex and how jittery he looked on that stage. But now seeing him so calm, composed, and the aim as well, like everything just seems so much better now that he's had time to develop within Fnatic. It goes back to them again having that amazing structure within the organization.
I never thought I would hear him say the words. You know, I was a bit shy when I joined, but now I'm just a silly guy.
That's what Fnatic does.
Do you think that's well? Kron's immune to it. I think Kron's not been infected by the silliness.
He's the Zoomer. He's one of the Zoomers.
Yeah, but did you expect him to self-proclaim that he's now just a silly guy?
Maybe not self-proclaimed. No, maybe not self-proclaimed. I think that's the point. But I think that shows how comfortable he is with this team now, which is just so nice to see.
That is, you know, like when you start seeing someone for the first time and you act, you know, like you're a 10 out of 10, like you're the best. Your life is so well put together, and like after a month, you don't even wash your hair anymore. That kind of thing.
My goodness, it's been a long time since I went through the 6 years since last time I can remember having that kind of feeling. But it hasn't been 6 years since we've seen Fnatic play against Team Heretics. With this, the last few times they played against each other, the map vetoes, you know, especially coming today, we have to address that Fnatic will get the double ban. So what do you think they're going to ban?
It's a big advantage. I think that Pearl is obviously going to be one of them. They're so lucky that they made it through the upper and they do not have to show it. As you can see here, this is the 2 times that we have seen them play, first in stage during the regular season, and then on playoffs, we can see that the bans are very similar. If you take a look at the first wave of bans, which are this ones and the first on the left, we see Fnatic banning Pearl and Team Heretics banning Split. That is something that they're not going to have today. I wonder, though, if Split is going to be map 1 or map 3. I do not see it living it for the last one. But that is kind of where my question is of how Heretics is going to bounce back if they start on a map that they do not have that much experience in, and especially one that could give that momentum for the side of Fnatic.
But they know, right, Billy? They know it's going to be Split or Fracture first, surely.
Yeah, of course they know. And I think as well, like we saw that with the Fracture the other day as well, was that because, of course, Heretics have been banning Split into Fnatic, it just opened that right up for Fnatic to be able to pick into. And they found so many... It was the map that Miniboo was being shut down constantly. They could not get activated whatsoever. So yeah, I think coming into today, we're probably expecting to see those maps near the start of the veto.
And the Icebox, they've leveled up since.
Chalo, start.
Oh, I would love to see the Icebox. I do not think that Fnatic is going to be banning it. It make a lot of sense. That, yeah, Team Heretics might have fixed some of the things. My question is also on Haven, because Team Heretics is like, you're calm and doing something. So I wonder what that second ban is going to be. I'm between Haven and Accept.
Well, if they don't play Icebox when they're tank in the building, I'm going to have serious words. But before we welcome Fnatic and Team Heretics onto the stage, let's take a moment to remember how we got here. The moments that shaped us as a region and the legacy our teams are playing for today.
Games खेल क्या है लोग हाँ? बैल लोग जर्नी देख लो बेटो. इतना वाला भी नहीं भाई. जल्दी मैच स्टार्ट कर, जब बुला लो मेरे को. दाता अंदर कर रहे क्या क्यों रे?
गन्ने का जूस बड़ा गिलास 20 रुपए का. मैनू माफ करी मां मेरी, इस जन्म तेरा हो ना पाया. मैनू माफ करी मां मेरी.
Everything. Bye. Crazy. जल्दी आ जाओ स्टार्ट करो.
Winning champions was the best moment of my life, I will say. Like, it was like that energy, that adrenaline.
Give it up for Ascend!
Copenhagen, we had no hope, really. I think the big deal was like there was no pressure. It was a long way with this roster. With
लेकिन
this,
चीफ गेस्ट आऊंगा
and finally
सालों
we got
देख
what we
लियो.
deserve.
It's funny, like winning Lock-in was like a really big moment, but the biggest moment for me was when Loud went 2-2.
The roar of the crowd, the reverberations and echoes and vibrations.
I've never heard anything so loud in my life before. It really made me live in the moment and kind of enjoy what was happening. It was crazy. It was crazy. And then obviously the
स्टार्ट हो गया आईपीएल. देखो सेकंड इनिंग स्टार्ट हो गया भाई. सेकंड इनिंग्स में क्या है भाई, ये 3 पुट्टे आते ऊपर के, मतलब इम्पैक्ट प्लेयर ही तो आना है. इम्पैक्ट प्लेयर आएगा ना ऐसा सुदर्शन, इधर आएगा. 3 भाई, तीनों तो भाई मारेंगे, खत्म कर देंगे 10 मिनट में. उसके बाद तो क्या ये केएल राहुल का स्कोर 10 मिनट में खत्म, फैफ डुप्ली का फर्स्ट बॉल पे खत्म, अभिषेक पटेल का 2 ओवर में, अक्षर पटेल का भी 2 ओवर में, सिस्टम सबका 1 ओवर में खत्म. आईपीएल इज मोर ऑफ जोक नाउ. भाई आईपीएल में सच में बोलूं मजा कब आता था जब 180 प्लस स्कोर. ये ऐसा होता था ना कि अरे 180 है, इतना मारेंगे. 200 पार है तो मैच जीत गए. जो भी टीम पहले बैटिंग करके 200 मारती थी वो तो टीम मैच जीत गई. वन साइडेड होता था. क्या Who is that? Motherfuckers, noobs. वो तो टीम जीत गई 200 के ऊपर जो भी है. नूब्स. अब जो 200 के नीचे है वो तो नूब्स. अभी 200 के ऊपर तो कितना, दोपहर में 200, अभी 200, हर मैच 200.
Has produced some of the best players in the game. We've lifted the biggest trophies, and winning on our stage is the first step. There's always more to achieve. There's always more to win, and all of that starts from today.
खत्म. स्टार्ट करो. कैसे?
Every leap they've taken echoes in the halls of history. As the stage 1 trophy
is 1020 pounds.
Booster title. Welcome the Meta Makers.
Chronicle. 20 pounds. From New York, Chronicle. काजक है भाई, ये है उधर तो. यो गाड़ी. Now from California, his good, handsome, 320 pounds, Alpha Jeher. इसका भी अल्फा है ना, जेहर नहीं है, ये मत बोलियो. घूमर तो नहीं छोड़ेगा अपना कुत्ता. Temeratics.
Thrust into the lower bracket. They found new form. And now the sharpened blade of Los Niños is back for revenge in a battle for their first trophy with Woods.
Bruh.
Benji Fishy!
Yo, bro, Benji. Hey! Look! सबको क्यूट बनना बू भाई आई लाइक यू भाई चुपचाप आया ठहरा आ गया दैट्स सिंपल दैट्स गुड राधे भैया मिनी बू भाई भाई जो स्टेज पे रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे ग्रेट है
And with the coaches, Milan and Nielsinho, the stage is set. A rematch, 1 year in the making. And it all comes down to this.
अरे जल्दी जल्दी आए कौन सा मैप है
7 out of 10 players on this stage have never lifted a domestic trophy, but that could all change today. More names are about to be written into the EMEA history books. But the question is, as we take a look at this map, Vito, what are the double bans?
3-0 Fnatic.
Are they going to be at our expectations of maybe Fracture and Split coming up first? Here's the $1 million question, because Pearl, there we go.
It's the second one, so it's Haven that they're going to take out. Maybe Heretics did a good job and actually improve what Fnatic brought onto the table. Fnatic is going to go for Split right off the bat, leaving Icebox, of course, for the pick of Team Heretics.
Okay, Indian map.
Want to change. They've seen some of spots. We saw also them changing the composition, going back to that Sova, removing the Deco. This is actually what I kind of expected. If Fnatic were to go for that Haven ban, this is what I had in mind.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think this is what I was expected. Although Ascent being left to the end, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, especially for Heretics, right? This is something that Fnatic have only played once throughout this stage, and that was a loss to Giant X back in week 4. So yeah, I think coming into Split though, that's where it gets exciting, right? Fnatic, they played it 5 times this stage. The only loss was that 16-18 overtime to Vitality, and of course this is the map that Team Heretics have banned every single time against Fnatic, and they've not played it since, well, I mean, the last time we saw them play it was that 10-2 comeback from Giant X.
Yes, exactly. So we know that there is a lot of things that they can do, but they can also lose it a little bit. Thinking also of the pick and split before Fracture, having that intention of we know exactly what to do here. Our double duelist can be so strong on the side of Fnatic. The Team Heretics have proven that that is something that they're extremely comfortable with. Yesterday they showed it in 2 out of the 3 maps that we saw, and it was definitely proven. Ascent for the last one, I'm not surprised at all. I don't think any of this teams like playing that map. No.
Well, I'm going to be a little bit like Mr. Obvious in this, but I really love the way that they left Fracture as a 3rd map, because Bosa said in the past he's so comfortable on it. If they were to lose map 1 and 2, there is no better place in the world to come back from than Fracture for map 3. So they put a lot of thought into this veto, clearly. Let's take a look at the agent select and see if Heretics have gotten over their demons since playing Split the last time. And I mean, they're just almost copy and paste on a lot of these maps.
Yeah, I mean, they have done this with Fnatic's Haven before, and look how that worked out for them. So yeah, I don't mind them doing a little bit of a copy and paste here. But I will say, although they're sticking with that double duelist, kind of leaning into that, this is something that they did play on Split last time and only ended up getting like 2 rounds on the attack overall. So yeah, I want to see some prep going into this.
Yeah, Team Heretics, of course, they choose the defense. They were very successful, as you said, 10-2 against Giant X. It was the second half that we should be more concerned about. But moving Minibu away away from the race, giving that to Wood. Maybe seeing that the ISO does not really bring that much with the recent stuff that we saw. The undercut doesn't have that much value, and this two could be such a menace together.
And we haven't seen this race in a long time, so I'm excited for it. But we can't have a conversation about the legacy of EMEA without mentioning these two casters. They've given you guys the chaos, the magic, and they're going to be bringing you the grand finals here today. It's Panpop.
Split मजा आएगा चलो split देखने
Thank you so much, and yet an absolute treat in front of us today.
Pansy, please start, Pansy.
I think all of us here couldn't imagine a better two teams in the final.
Absolutely. I think as well the form, this is probably something you could have called from early on within stage one for sure, but it's not necessarily been smooth sailing, particularly once you look outside of this head-to-head matchup. But my God, the form both of these teams are in right now for a grand final, a best-of-5 spectacle. We've got a game on our hands.
Oh, right off the rip, you're calling it a big shout here. But starting off
start karo.
Split. Now,
attack
Fnatic
in a decorated team appearing at the 9 global events and winning 4 of
here. They've got what they needed.
Yeah, I think reps-wise, you probably do lean a little more towards Fnatic.
Level
again, for Heretics, I think I haven't seen it since week 2, I believe. Again, not necessarily any concerns. I think once we get a bit deeper into the veto, we can maybe start to have those conversations. But see how things kick off here on map 1. Heavy focus for Fnatic over towards B main here. It's Alpha, yeah, though. The other side of the map to maybe try and sell something. TP across here, but Spike not necessarily going to commit towards this play just yet.
Got to look at where these players are. They're taking their time. There's going to be a little bit of a pause for thought at this point. Showing presence towards the A side, looking to maybe draw some of these rotations with this late look back towards B. And as you can see via minimap, it's working. They've pulled almost every player off here. There's that little bit of a question mark being raised into Woot's mind of, guys, could they be going B? And we can already see it. Fnatic are on site. Woot's a little too late to the party. He might be rushed down here. He could be vulnerable. We know he's on his own towards CT, but now he's got support. But Alpha in the meantime finds Benji. The layers to this pistol look lovely for Fnatic.
Let's go!
Now can Heretics fight back by any means? Boo burns the paranoia. Rienz no utility. It's just going to be the fight. Let's not clean it up.
Oh! क्या मार दिया रे Kajak?
Beautiful from him.
Clean मारा रे Kajak.
Kicking things off with 4 on the pistol round.
Let's go!
Fnatic not shying away from the fight, able to take a breather almost here, partway through this hit. Kayak the one to deliver the kills.
Oh, 3 bullets, 3 mara hai.
Good shit, boys.
Looking clean.
Just like in my dreams.
Oh, maybe had a vision ahead of time.
I thought it was him and Crashies in the dreams, but seems that Kayak's making an appearance. But 4-0, what a start for him. And we talk about Kayak, if he gets confident early, what this guy can do, and well, that's certainly a start to be had. I love what Fnatic were doing there. Heretics now getting farmed up. Alpha wants in on the action. Eco Cobra moment for him, happy enough. And the rest of Heretics, well, you're looking for small victories. I don't think you're going to get many.
One of them, maybe. Trying to force Fnatic a little deeper. Posturing up. There is some aggression. See elsewhere on the map. Tons of space. Kayak to move into if he does want to make moves.
क्या hold करना चाह रहे
लोग? Towards heaven. We might be able to get here, but again, no paint shell now. Only a classic. Difficult to really do any damage or put up any sort of resistance here.
TH वाले.
A trade-off here of the orb.
Ult आ गया रे Kajak का.
Crossing the T's, dotting the I's, really.
एक मारता भी ult ला लेता. एक ही मारना है. Ult आ गया उसका almost.
Get a little, I don't want to say it's not going to be dangerous, but there's a chance to do some damage. Chronicles already cleared Benji, putting Woot next in line. This is looking very concise. Boo the last one, and we can see where he is. He's pretty far off from this. And I guess if we talk bigger picture, as you were kind of talking about, yes, this initially does look like a Fnatic favored veto at the very beginning, as you'd expect with the way it goes down. Throughout kind of, I guess, this year, if you're looking at it, Fnatic sitting at 4 wins, 2 losses, and then Heretics, 1 win, 1 loss. It's not up high in that veto for them. So for Heretics, I don't mind them going for that little change up here in the composition as well. Try something out, and Alpha to close this round down. In zone flawless round 2. Fnatic mean business.
3 point.
Very, very clean so far. Flag already going to have his ultimate available. Is anything real? I mean, again, with the composition change, really
अरे
just comes
one
down to
sided
how
पता
well
नहीं
Wood can
अल्ट आ गया इस
perform.
नहीं यार अल्फाजर
Eyes towards Rian as
अल्फाजर
well
का
in
भी
that
ऑलमोस्ट
regard.
अल्ट है कजाक का तो आ गया इस
Looking fairly all in here. I mean, the only member of Fnatic disconnected from this is Boaster.
अल्ट चोटता है ने
Off rip here for Fnatic. Where the wall is committed. Maybe just going to sell a fake
अल्ट
once again
चोटता है
with
ने
the
कैसा
TP.
ये ब्रो
Nobody from Heretics really moving forwards for info here.
ए बजाना कर दे
That makes it even more difficult really
किधर
for
है
Fnatic
अल्ट
to
तो
sell
मारता है ए
this.
पे गाइस ए पे अल्ट हो जाए
Just gonna hold
तगड़ी
the
अल्ट
numbers now. Two of them here.
बुलने में ना देता
And the spike is
नहीं
still.
नहीं नहीं टीपी मार के बीच आ रहा
You start to see that move. That's how you can kind of determine where that commitment may reside. Kind of definitely try and draw eyes and draw attention, but no one's overly biting on it, right? As you were alluding to.
Yeah, and what's key is actually the timing on the smoke here on B main, allowing Boo to slip a little deeper. Does have mini Boo as well here, but now you almost feel as if you don't want to see them committed towards this site hold. Kayak gonna dimensional drift.
Back up towards main.
The problem being now, like I said, these committed positions now become a little concerning if they can't get away from sight.
This is getting tough. Boo is surrounded here, and the great paranoia, but he's been pinned down already. Kayak was on a mission there. With Alpha removing Mini Boo at the same time, they got caught. They got punished for those 4 positions. And the other 3 were over towards that A site. A brutally long road to come back in on Fnatic, playing a gorgeous game of Valorant currently. Can Heretics do damage? They feel almost absent to these rounds.
So probably going to be holding on to these rifles now. Rian's down at 14 HP.
Rian's
round 4 purchase isn't going to be there if everybody falls. Looking like back-to-back in-zone flawless rounds here for Fnatic. And like I said, yeah, Heretics kind of need to make a call here on kind of trying to anchor that site that only has 2 members. Again, early rounds, you can let some of these fakes kind of slip through the nets.
And kind of on that though, I do want to highlight how good Boo's been at that mid-rounding normally. It's one of his strong suits that I love to watch with Heretics. I think he's a very cerebral player. But when I say that Heretics have been shut out, I don't even mean it just theoretically. I mean, looking at the numbers here, Mike, only Boo has drawn blood. That's it. Everyone else is sat on 0. Starting blocks. This just feels like there's no opponents on the server. Fnatic just having complete freedom, carte blanche with whatever they want to do.
If that trend does continue here, so if actually Heretics might try and put something in motion outside. This time around, members of Fnatic to punish such a play. I think as well in this round, Heretics are probably feeling as if they need to send out some fact finders, figure out what the default looks like.
We've been seeing the pacing Fnatic have been playing with. It has been deep, and that's an isolated pickup, a bit messy for Alpha there. So a lovely bit of work for Mini Boo. That's maybe share over a weapon for Boo potentially, and you can already see that the rotation's going to be support Benji is here. Phantom about to drop though, and the flash to set him in. Kayak on the corner doesn't get affected, but he notes presence. They are all going up towards this. Look towards events as the player on the other side. Completely unaware of and again, this is methodical. It's near on mechanical from Fnatic. Look at this! Heretics not even getting a glance into this. Boo recovered the weapon off the body of Alpha, but he's on the wrong side of the map. The only one here is Rienz with a classic. Mike, he's good. I don't think he's that good.
Easy for Fnatic, bitch.
If they get a couple for free here, it doesn't even look like Kayak will give him the chance.
Jesus!
It's looking clinical for Fnatic. Boo's going to be able to find anything crashes, remove any hope here in round 4. First time we've really seen Heretics go exploring to, like I said, try and figure out what the backline looks like. No surprise to see a timeout called this early on here. Do need to see some sort of adjustment because, again, here, I guess a body in hand is Benji to come up and pick the slack up, and there's just a huge gap in mid here that Boaster identifies very quickly.
Timeout, डर गए.
I guess also.
इतनी जल्दी डर गए.
Kind of symptomatic of the other rounds, just total freedom across the map.
And I guess this does play into then kind of talking about the next step here. Obviously, both of these teams are going to Toronto. That's not what's being fought for here. But also, we're starting to see the deeper vetoes and potentially faults here, right? This is a map that Heretics will need to correct. If this is them coming out here, obviously it's not high up in their veto list, right? This is not a go-to selection. Welcome to best of fives. Hey, if we're going to talk about big events, Heretics in best of 5, right? We got to talk about longevity with them. This map so far, they haven't looked like they've got their footing at all.
Glove!
I think as well, you're not necessarily on the defensive side going to see much for the comp adjustment. Even so, really lean towards many changes. But
going finish fishing.
Have to see.
Has 1, 2, and
again, whether or not they do just sit back towards it. The problem being,
tiffing him.
If they can continue, well, I was going to say continue doing this sort of thing, looks like they're potentially going to sell a fake once again.
All will happen.
This looks so similar.
Yeah, because Heretics almost play themselves out of some of these rounds if they can't, you know, pin down somebody for an opening engagement. Almost.
Here again.
I mean, both duelists on this side of the map, alongside Riens. They all go up, but playing so deep, it's not going to ping anything.
A little bit of an exchange, I guess. If you know that they're playing deep, maybe off even just that previous round, okay. Push
And
a
what's
player
key
up.
here is coming out of the timeout, Fnatic almost anticipating some sort of set piece or aggression. Spike actually left in spawn this time around.
But they've replaced that question mark for Fnatic now on both sides of the map, so it's very hard. They have to send bodies, they have to fully commit, which they're doing here. So they attempted it towards A, and they've been kind of traded out on that, so it goes back towards Fnatic's favor, as they do currently have Kayak in position. Here, it's been traded back towards Heretics' side. They've got B main, but something they don't like. Boo's reading this as it's not probably going to be B until maybe Rien's calls for support. Now, seeing this Boom bot, this should be enough of a worry, surely, but Boo is fully committing towards this idea that it's going to be towards A. In Rien's and Benji to be able to do anything to hold back this 3-2 split here. The bullet does not connect, but Rien's
That's a big
needs to call it.
win as well to draw out the C's and the snake bite.
Oh dear. Rien's might be in trouble here as a bouncing alpha flies over. It's Chronicle to claim the kill, but now Benji should be noted. That Viper util. And he's going to do well, but there's a trade coming in. These splits are completely uncontested. Heretics need to get a grip on this, and they can't stop the rot. Boo bailed out the site earlier on, and now punished. They can't get a grip on
13-0 incoming. Yoru bhi aaya?
Didn't even catch it in the fray there, but where Bosa slipped the net once again. Another issue identified here in the Heretics defense, and it just feels like Fnatic just have, well, I mean, have Heretics by the balls, to be honest with you. There's no space whatsoever. Even Kayak coming through, catching somebody in rotation.
Woo!
Let's go. Early off the starting block here for Heretics. Need a couple to make this honestly doable in the second half as well.
Flash.
And look, I was giving kind of a surprise marker towards Boo's struggle to try and deal with these approaches from Fnatic, but I guess I have to then flip that coin and put the credit towards Boaster with some of his calling here. That's been great. It feels like Heretics can't be on the right side of the map ever.
No, it's kind of that double-edged sword, really. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. You can't really justify now being in an awful position financially. The time and time again, kind of force the issue and get aggressive, but
कहीं से भी सैचल मार के कहीं भी निकल जाता.
The little things to keep your eye on is obviously some of these utility wins that, you know, seeing the reveal, that creating a window of opportunity. Now the Boombot coming out.
I mean, again, mid completely left open with all that attention drawn on the extremities, Mike. It just gives them complete walk-ups. This round maybe not so much of a problem because it is just on those pistols, right? Trying to make something happen for themselves. But once again, we're seeing players in vents. We're seeing players slip up towards heaven. We saw that last time around with Boaster. They found such a flaw in Heretics, and Heretics can't seem to fix it. They're running low on time here, Fnatic, but they're still dropping the bodies. It's Rien's to find Kayak, but the spike does need to get towards A. 20 seconds now. Maybe the clock could be the factor. Can Rien's land some mad shots? I mean, okay, Carpet's rolled out towards B. Got to get there fast for the spike. But they should have time for this plant. I don't think it's a problem. Rien's can't even get there in time. I mean, I've not seen a player like this in, well, quite some time. To this extent.
See if they can maybe reset here coming into the buy round. But yeah, from a macro standpoint, Fnatic in total control of the split here.
I mean, it's not
Again,
it's rough really to think about Benji's task here in terms of swinging back and forth, or whether or not they just commit him towards mid. Especially now in the buy rounds going forwards. That last round was Chronicle all the way over on B that...
Right! Alt, please Alphazer, alt, please!
It's a very, very passive and patient approach here to the attacking half of split.
Yeah, Heretics वाले गलती क्या कर रहे पता है? ये लोग push कर रहे.
Well, you don't feel like you get to play the game. Really, it's just pretty solid work. Mini boot. The first to get any committed contact, but if anything, he just fall away deeper. Now,
interesting करना है push मत करो, वरना push करो. तुम लोग हारने से मेरे क्या है?
First time.
I was going to say, Heretics send a Prowler out, and actually they're ready with the paranoia, but
they might have jumped the gun.
A little early.
Yeah, they really could have jumped the gun on this one. They're in the right place for it. Oh my God, Wound tries to get away. Doesn't quite make it too far as Boaster finds him in the end. Was pulling off the nookie, but not quite it. But that's going to force Kayak to pop the ult. 45 seconds, they need info, and they've just found boatloads of it. They know the paranoia came through by B, they've seen two towards heaven. They've got a great idea. Nice drive-by from Benji, but Kayak now making his presence known. It's a 3v2.
Spike's in an awkward spot though.
Yes, and Heretics can support this nice ult. That should identify two of them here and actually set up mini boot. This is big work. Lovely from Heretics on the fly sort of play. Quick synergy between the Oh, what? How did Fnatic still win this?
Nice one.
Maybe a little overzealous here. Heretics looking for a confidence booster. To kind of take a round away from Fnatic. Yeah, it's really rough. I mean, Fnatic have to do a lot of work to re-establish control of mid here, and then
ball salt.
You're almost expecting Heretics to take a breath here. The ult comes through. I think Anthony got his ultimate as well.
Nice! Let's go! Let's go!
Hindsight short.
Reina, Phoenix, ISO, Clove, Yoru, सब है. Second time out मिल रहे लोग.
Something you want to keep in check.
बुल्ले मिल गए अब तो.
I was going to say early on, we are already sitting at 7-0.
Yeah,
बुल्ले मिल गए. बुल्ले मिल गए.
I'm curious because we don't often see Heretics in these sort of positions. Hey, they've lost games. We're not saying they don't lose games, but you don't see Heretics often sat at 0-7. It's a very unique position for them to work from. And you could say it's easy to rip off the band-aid, right? Lose quickly, it's a best of 5, don't let it affect you. But you're seeing this quite animated from Weber here. Having a chat, trying to get them maybe on the same page, trying to get a solution to what's going on, because it feels like they've got no idea of the Fnatic tells. They don't know how to take space on the map, how to take any of those question marks at face value.
And that's what's key. When a team's playing like this, and I'm talking about Fnatic, obviously you look towards some of those utility exchanges and what then Fnatic looks to achieve during that downtime. Unfortunately, Heretics is gaining no value of any of their util. And even here, I feel like they've pulled the trigger a little early. Again, I think maybe they're thinking, we have no info on B at all, not necessarily outside. We can catch them in the lane, but this choke is always a little easier to lock down with a snake bite, paint shell, and a paranoia.
Get cheesy, Mike. They've gone for the cheese solution. And it's actually worked, at least to get Kayak down. Quick stack towards B main.
Kayak कहाँ से हो गया उसका नाम? Kajaki है ना?
The other side of the map as well, though. Rashi's Chronicle looking to find something, and a slight overstep from Boo.
Wall bang किधर लगा उसको? किधर से कौन सी दीवार पे से लगा wall bang?
Heretics scrambling to find the timing on this rotation.
Fnatic भी read अच्छा कर रही हो देखो B पे.
Please. Oh no! Good trade from Rienz at least, but okay.
Open up B, but Woot's still here.
अगर ये एक भी kill निकाला ना,
a big tool for Heretics.
तो ये जीत गए, Heretics जीत गए first.
I'm a bit worried though. Woot's had a really quiet half here. He might feel a bit cold, but he's certainly warming up now. Big shot on Alpha. That's an instant pop with the ult. Crashies might be able to spot him out.
What's Rienz to find it?
How are you hitting that?
Eco हार गए तुम लोग इन लोग से?
3 20 seconds. Jump spotted out. Sees there. They know they've caught him now. Should be a swing if they fancy it. They're not going for it though. 13 seconds. Boast has got to get a move on. Heretics, they might be about to get there.
Eco har gaye log se 50 round.
The Bakary ends in a base safeguard Thrifty. I mean, a great shot from Woot as well.
Chalo koi na NT.
That was his first kill, by the way.
13-0 bola main stream pe.
I wasn't
going to say it, but yeah. I mean, what a time to find it as well. Rien's 4 on the round for him, but a crucial kill.
Build. Deagle se shayad
Just spotted him, the readjustment from Rien.
Gunno se dekha ke Deagle se hai.
Beautiful. Often the superstar for this Heretics roster.
4 more rounds and we got this, okay?
4 more rounds, we got this, okay. 7-5 ka
Springboard
target
off
hai
that one round. And actually, Fnatic, if they've got anything else up their sleeve here, in terms of their approach to split,
ho jaye.
force Heretics back into
Ek
recovery
anda push
mode.
dikha na PRX wala push.
Close flash here, and
Kahan gaya iska?
I mean, my eyes immediately go towards Benji and Boaster in mid here. The timing on that is going to be crucial in terms of the rotation.
Bulla bhi na ruk raha ne. Wo phek ke jate raha.
Until this point, Boast has been winning it out, right? His lurk timings with
Uska
lovely
boomer jaane
Woot's
se pehle nikal
curiosity
gaya.
could actually get the better of Crashies. Starting to maybe
Under
get a bit of a
check kar lo na,
tempo
nikal ke
read on
heaven
this. A
se.
temperature check. Don't know if he spotted Kron completely there, but still, Fnatic finally getting a fight back. 50 seconds. The tempo stills. Boaster looking to maybe open up another chance towards middle. Timing's there. Boo has to back away, but he's not alone.
Oh!
Yes, Benji wins out the fight. This time controls Heaven, investing the ult on top.
3v5. Ah!
Chronicles.
Arre kaise?
2 through smoke is going to open up a site, Lauren.
Okay, I guess if we're just having these sort of rounds, it doesn't matter. Oh man, you thought it was maybe a chance back for Heretics,
Land
but
kar bhai.
Chronicle gets a gift from the gods. Leaving just Benji now to face the music. Fnatic.
Nice
You don't get
one.
luck as
Chronicle
well as this
bhai.
scoreline, but apparently with Chronicle you do.
I mean, the first,
OP.
sure. The second,
wasn't
though,
even
the timing.
close.
I mean, it was eerily spooky.
Why raha?
But it's absolutely huge.
Nikala rahe hain.
Right.
Abhi to diya the.
I think actually, yeah, just catching a glimpse on the edge of that smoke. It's really unfortunate. Again, whether or not that's kind of Boo at max range, putting that smoke down there, or it's intended actually to give something to watch the cross potentially, but by the finest of margins, Chronicle will punish. But Heretics back in a really rough spot in terms of the finances as well, Lauren. Guardian,
ठीक
but
Kayak
just on a classic.
Guso. Guso! Maharaj ka adesh hai, Guso.
Hard to watch.
I mean, it's
Right.
excruciating, yeah.
Yeah, because again, look, we know the caliber of player that Heretics have. It's why you'll get a 4K from Rien's to win you a round.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But the
Tera.
difference here of capability when it
Kaun
comes
sa
to the
tera?
team play aspect and just general knowledge on this map is stark.
Nahin
Right?
leke gaya
This is a
wapas.
great first pick from Fnatic, putting themselves up at
Dekh ke
8-1.
dekh ke
Boaster wants his revenge, but
Arre
his
galle
eyes are
neeraj
almost
to
looking
bhej
trained in towards the mini-map, so you've got to be careful. To smoke towards middle, and once again clearing methodically towards his A site. Now, unaffected Rienz is the only one who seems to be firing up here. Taking away Chronicle this time. Alpha looking to take space back towards Heaven. Still a lot of players here, Mike. A good opportunity, but maybe a
30
bit.
seconds
I was going to
left.
say, Heretics conceding mid this time around. Benji up towards Rafters on B.
TH वाले छोड़ दे रहे
Guardian, though, still has the snake bite.
उनको मान लो ना मिड से जाते बोल के
Has to lock down Fnatic here if he gets punished on the peak.
पुश कर
A
दो
little dicey here.
Oh, IRL
मारा अल्फा शेर
by the time, but he's gone down. It's 10 seconds of Boo.
Missed the cross.
It's not good enough. That's it. That's one down. Kayak now going to identify how many players crossed. Spotting two. Booster. Get me out of here, Mike. Get me out of this map. This feels like bullying.
मारता भी इसको दोनों को मारता
Good lord. It's just whoop. This has been an absolute.
ओए
I mean, that's a good shot here, but it's it doesn't matter.
Reload आया मैं तो मारता था
Only
पक्का
by yourself. Fnatic
9-3 मत करो
striding through this map.
सीधा level 1 करो 13 1 करो
Nothing
1 is all they
left
get
up for chance by
1 is
Fnatic.
all they get bitch
And even in where it looks a little, you can't even say dicey, where Heretics get a little victory. Fnatic just applying even further pressure.
Nice! Good job, bro!
9-1 the scoreline now.
Fire, bro.
Yeah, again.
What chilling, man?
What can you do on those sort of days when? And now what?
Jando.
Kills through smokes. Things that aren't even planned for. Ultimates now.
कैसे बैठे रे दोनों? सोचा मारते थे दोनों कैसा बैठे रे?
Head of the snake almost. Kayak will fall.
बैठे उला दोनों.
There's a few players there.
Yeah.
वो फेंक के spam मारता देख.
First time we've seen pick against Fnatic, and now they have to work against the odds here. But it feels like at least slow and steady now.
मेरे को ना नेड ना रिफ्लेक्शन मारना सीखना चाहिए.
There's a lot of presence on this B side of the map, but maybe on
alt alpha zer alt
to try and cross through. Boaster's got his, Alpha's got his, Kron's got his, and a decent amount of util still left.
Almost committed towards us now with two teammates alongside him. Can he get away? This time around he's just
दूसरी बार बच रहा है
top of the box.
Yeah, Kron caught him and they swing out as three. Miniboo doing really well though, leaving just Kron alive, but this man has been doing miracles.
30 seconds
With 12 HP, I don't see it. Make me a believer, Chronicle.
Quite just gets caught.
Now he's scaring the
देख रहा हूँ ने ऊपर से.
Why does this feel doable? It shouldn't be. It is.
ऊपर से देख रहा हूँ ने. दिखा उसको. मैं कुछ भी ना बोलते रहे. 2 is all the gate. 1 is all the gate बोलते. 2 हो गया. 0 is all the gate बोलते. 1 हो गया.
Round 11. The best they're going to hope for here is a 9-3 half. And again, the ultimate's still a concern for the final round here. Desperate, I mean, yeah, pick your poison, really. But there's two headshots. Yeah, actually, goes for a precious line up there. I didn't even catch, actually. It was a clap there.
Dummy. Good job.
उन्हें भी अल्टा का सामने
Completely
वाला.
silhouette behind
Wood
Boaster.
भी अल्टा का.
Like I said, these ultimates still a concern coming into the final round. This time, Kayak on his feet, so maybe
9-3 करके
set
मारते
that in
क्या
motion
ना? नहीं
ahead of
मार.
a sight hit here.
खत्म. इन्हें भी अल्ट लेग गुस्ता. पक्का अल्ट लेग
On
गुस्ता.
both sides. Miniboo going to be backing away. Woot's isolated here. He could be, wait. Woot's not cleared. Oh my god, okay. Woot's pain shell does incredibly well. You can have the ult on top of this, but find it with his ult coming in. Now Fnatic eyeing up the A side of the map here. And Heretics backing away, buying time for rotation. Well, I say Heretics, it's
मार
Miniboo.
रहे. स्पैम मार के दिखा रहे. Miniboo.
But this time around, Heretics have found fortuitous timing
Hit.
towards heaven. Benji's still here. No pressure through mid this time around. It's all in from
आया
Fnatic.
आया.
Kayak investing
Flash,
in the
flash.
Chronicle to alleviate some of the pressure, but Miniboo
Oh, shotgun.
gets
Let's
down
go.
with Kayak and Kron.
Let's go.
Against
2v3,
Rien's
2v3
Boom.
easy. Easy 2v3.
Both of the Fnatic players on the A side. Chronicle wants the ult.
हार गए राउंड हार
A bit
गए.
more safety here. Waits for it to bloom. It's over the spike. Let's Kayak get to work. Plant going to come in. Rien's controlling.
It covers so much space there, Lauren.
Certainly does. And Kron is
इनको घुमाना
eyes
फेंकती
trained on
केवल के.
CT.
Could get spammed out here.
Raise,
Be
raise,
careful.
raise. Raise के ऊपर वो
Hold
भी
on to a
नहीं
weird
है.
off
Satchel.
angle in front of screens here.
Toxin screen down.
Prowler's just come in. That should be
किधर
Rien's
लगा है
noted.
ये
There's a
वो?
gap here for Kayak to watch. Now he's not going to see Boo just yet. Boo's dived in. Swinging at the same time. He puts it on Kayak. Drop down. Boo was waiting and Heretics still in this by the finest of margins.
By the skin of their teeth, Lauren. We'll find the third. Then Kayak maybe looking for the
क्या मारा
TP
ने?
inside the pit here, but
निकलती कैसे
Kron
बैठ के कैसे मार
falling
दिया?
immediately. And post plant falls apart.
It is finest margins 9-3. Let's see how this one closes out on the second.
बॉल से रैपिन. इसके सैचल कैसे मारा ने? इसका दोस्त सैचल मार लेतेगा उसको. एक मिनट 9-3 3 is all the get
It's not defeat that
Threes all
defines
they
you.
get.
It's how you bounce back. Reach your impossible.
Threes all they get. बहुत है 3 भी उन लोग के लिए. क्या बोलती पब्लिक? 3 भी बहुत है उन लोग के लिए भाई. बेंजी फिशी नहीं मार रहा है. कहाँ से होगा? बेंजी फिशी को मारना पड़ेगा. बेंजी फिशी जब चोदेगा तब कुछ होगा. वो कुछ कर ही नहीं रहा है तो कहाँ से कुछ होगा? मेरा म्यूट तो नहीं है ना माइक? माँ की आंख. इसकी गाड़ में हत्ती का लंडा. लो बंदी कर दिया मैन के लड़े का.
To start 9-3, Mike, and the fashion they did it was just unfathomable at times. Beautiful work from them, great calling, big individual impact, but Heretics did claw back 3.
क्या दिख रहा है? किसको क्या दिख रहा? कौन जीतता?
Certainly not how you want to come out the first half at a best of 5 on map 1, but yeah, I mean, Kayak just taking absolute control of the first half.
Will Fnatic will win.
Heretics, like I said, just constantly on the back foot. That's an interesting pistol round stack. I mean, this is 1.16 kills on average for Kayak from pistol rounds here. Again, actually even kicking off here. What was it, a 4K in the first one? See if that confidence has been knocked here on the side of Heretics.
Let's go!
Just Chronicle really wants to take contact if it came, but actually Heretics under a little timing here with him slipping away. So maybe this is Fnatic poising towards a retake.
Retake कैसे करेंगे? Easy है retake भी.
They still have left quite a lot.
Post plan कुछ खेलने के लिए नहीं ना इन लोग के पास. Wood के पास.
Has been utilized, but
क्या है?
very much in play.
Got disconnected, Buis though. He's so paranoid about late lurk.
मतलब retake संभालने के लिए.
Coming in against them on the first half, you don't know if blame them really, but it is going to be go time right about now. The layers of utility go in, and Alpha is flying straight away, and no one is looking its way.
खत्म.
You can't let
खत्म.
Alpha go on
खत्म.
straight like this. Ooh, putting up the best stat he can, but he's 5 HP. Oh my God! You got something for us, NT.
अब बोला post plan खेलने कुछ नहीं है लोग के पास. Easy
there. Kayak and Crash is going to make it, and that's 10 right off the rip for Fnatic.
Time perfectly off the paint shell as well. Alpha, the double satchel round. I think maybe somebody from Heretics expecting a peek to come through earlier on. From
Let's go, Fnatic!
See it in the replay. Beautifully done. And Alpha finding 2. Everything you could want for a play like this.
मार दिया.
Oh my goodness, guys, it's killing everyone.
It's double digits already here for Fnatic. Long road back in for Heretics.
Outlaw किधर लगाया है?
Gonna choose to invest here, so let's see whether or not Minibu can get anything done. It's actually donated across here from Wu. Oh, that's the first, but Kayak actually, Milo set up paying off for them. Be careful now.
Yeah, there was a little window of chance there for them, wasn't there?
यहाँ
the apple gets passed over.
करके full मार के निकल
He
गया.
does need to be cautious, right? He's the one on the 25, so that lighter shield. Now it's on Woot to try and make that work for themselves. He is within this pack, so could be a chance here for Woot.
That's a walk in this.
अम्मो मिड पे देखो क्या है मसला.
So just a flash to come out now.
3, 2, 1 निकलो.
Holding the edge here.
It looked like they were going to walk all the way through.
3, 2, 1 करना.
Drop, and there's a connection. Kayak needs to
Mara
back on this
catch it.
though, as they try and close down. They didn't expect Chronicle. You don't get a fair fight today, it looks like. Fnatic in full form here. The first map of the finals, getting to 11 like it's nothing.
Barely breaking a sweat so far. See, Heretics now will come back in on a purchase.
I
think maybe Minibu just thinks there's a little more space to swing into here. Wouldn't matter too much anyway. I believe there's still a player up towards heaven watching the cross. Obviously, after the donation in the previous, only a stinger here. Actually, Fnatic very frugal as well in terms of the approach. Yeah, it's feeling pretty awkward now.
Ah, spam.
Oh! Every single response from Fnatic is just doubling down on what Heretics are able to achieve.
It's like, oh, we get the first pick called nut traded.
I mean, you think back to the first half, on the extremities, it's always a man to the good for Fnatic. There's always a 2v1 for them.
Arey! Gaya.
Benji could slip this here.
Gaya.
Crashy's still looking back, but just missing each other.
लौड़े लग गए।
That's lovely from Benji, but oh, Kayak! Getting caught by Rien's
spot क्यों नहीं किया भाई?
Completely. That's the A site for them. And look at the weaponry that Chronicle and Alpha
इसके
have.
Sky best सोचता मैं बोला।
Yeah.
And Alpha's going walkabouts. He's off.
Sky सोवा इसके लिए best है। भाई वो चूते scan नहीं करा उसको।
CT, but Alpha's not being quiet about this. He's being rather pacey. That's about to drop here. He's got two potential targets, one right, one left. He wants to set up the paint shell. Thought about sending it to side, didn't. And now the cross should be the death of him. He does go down, a little laboured. It was Rien's to help out. Identified two of them up towards heaven, potentially. So,
shot.
Okay.
Ah,
he was close on that second two. So, held off from 12. Heretics. Taking another back. Look, again, there's a couple of maps in this veto that will sit more one-sided to one team. Again, even when you look at Icebox, Fnatic haven't been particularly looking towards that more often than not. However, I guess one of the wins was against Heretics. Out of the two games they've played this year. So it is a bit tricky to guess it, but this one, I need to see Heretics warm into it a bit. Start looking like, as said, one of the best from what? 2024. Need a bit more from them. A little bit of life there. Fire up a bit. I mean, we've still got Boo on 3 kills. Benji on 6. You know, it's still not quite enough here. If we get Fnatic snowballing confidence, you get nervous. Now, though, another opportunity to stave off that 12th round.
Booster वो क्यों खरीदा? पैसे नहीं थे? नहीं थे, sorry, my bad.
Kayak's going to progress any further than this.
Booster में पैसे नहीं थे, खरीदा वो ठीक है.
His hands full now because
he's
got some reinforcements alongside him.
Now, but they're all eyes up towards the top of middle. So Kayak gets a freebie, takes away mini boost, so he's right back towards spawn and just praying his 4 teammates still standing can do enough. So they've got no progress towards middle. The extremities now you look towards. Benji trying to win out that fight towards ramp, but you've got confident players against you, willing to take chances, maybe sometimes they shouldn't. The contact made and Crashes now should be cautious. But already Kayak's cleared through.
And again, the timing on this. It's purely from Crash. He's feeling a little bit of pressure. Doesn't know exactly the picture behind this. Actually, oh, hang on, Chronicle. Almost caught a nice timing on the back lines here, but unable to pin anybody down.
He's had a quiet game, so he hasn't been needed. This would be the time to no util to play with just a weapon in hand. And his side currently controlled by Heretics. He's got problems, but Kayak's helping him out. Boo's gone down and now they're wrapped on the pillar. He knows where they are, and he's taken him away. This was his side.
Easy, GG. 13-4.
Crash is so disciplined on these
13-4 bitch.
And it's only really the smoke, the supported smoke actually, that allows him to slip a little deeper.
1% भी मन नहीं करता मैप देखने.
Buying a little time for Kayak to come through. And here Boo
110%, 1% मन नहीं करता.
Completely off guard. Kayak sitting at 26-5, by the way.
He's absolutely put mini.
It's just outrageous to have this sort of performance in the first map of a best of 5.
It's very impressive. It really is with Kayak.
Line up here.
And Heretics, gotta dig deep now. You got Stingers, you got Sheriffs, you got Guardians, and one Vandal. Oh!
क्या मार दिया Kayak?
Kayak has got your number. Doesn't matter the weapon, he's in the right place, right time, and he's not missing this map.
Just sitting there waiting for the TP to come through. Didn't catch the second, but 2 freebies here to kick off round 17.
वो लाइनअप
re-ends
वो समझ में ही नहीं आया उधर
to try and
गिरा क्यों
recover
मेन
this,
पे
but
वो हुआ क्या उधर
5 standing for Fnatic, Lauren.
You have to start bringing in the avoid CNED rule. You know what I mean? If you see him, run.
इसका pose ही
Flee
देखो
on sight sort of orders.
Crisis
And the
का
map's not looking so big anymore, right? Like let's say they try
गए ना पोटेला बुल्ले मिल गए
as well. That wouldn't have been a great idea.
बेनिफिशियल ना
But it looks
बुल्ला
like they're trying to split
बेनिफिशियल
back
पिक्चर
towards
होता
B, but we can see the
लास्ट
bodies
टाइम भी
here.
रोया था एक बार
It's a gamble
Anne
stack,
पे।
and it's correct. I mean, Crashes has heard nothing, so he doesn't need to call for support. He's fine in this. Tell them
30
to wait,
seconds
see if they
left.
can keep their composure and keep their cool in this read that's right. 25 seconds, there's not much room to pivot. It's fight forward. Try and fight fire with fire. Fnatic have got all the players in the right place here, and Chronicle is clean today. He's got both,
Easy.
and it's Boaster decided and sealed.
First map इतना easy
In
ठीक है
map 1 to close out.
ठीक है
15 to 4, Mike.
Watchparty streamer
Absolute showing.
Flawless.
Hago,
barely
hago.
fitting, to be honest with you, for this first map.
मैं हग लो
Barely missing a beat here.
They are
hug दिया रे
absolutely locked in on this one. We have Ice Forms coming up next. Who knows if this form can continue, but that is certainly a statement sent.
We create a song right now on stage, grand finals.
I'll give you the beat.
Yeah, be the beat.
We came to grand final today against Heretics, like as usual. I'm Camden the Buster because he's better than me.
And that's what I like to do. I'm giving it hard and I'm giving it to Boo. Mini Boo too.
Bossy, looking so sassy. I thought this actually super nice. She is because she's. Okay, I'm not gonna continue, guys. That's it. I'm not gonna continue.
Red Bull gives you wings. Every gamer faces challenges. Champions push through.
Last one.
Reach your impossible. Lenovo Legion.
그래서 이거 누가 대신에 money dance on a private jet 여긴 닿을 수 없는 거 올려놔 bus 하늘 위로 떨어지는 별을 느낄 like demons 자식 나고 기는 것들은 전부 천했지 왜처럼 증오들은 나의 밑거른 꽤나 좁아져도 눈의 시선은 어느새 풀려 숨죽여 Hey you better you turn when I pull up Can't slow me down 나 끝이 없는 ride 멈출 수가 없잖아 소리로 망설임 없이 주사 위로 여전히 예상 못한 곳으로 향하지 like we still go Told myself I'm so bossy, I'm so bad I told myself I'm so bossy, I'm so bad I told myself I'm so bossy, I'm so bad I told myself
Everything is on चेंज नहीं करके गया अरे मैं सच में चूतिया से नहीं बोल रहा हूँ मैं सच में बोलो गाली देने का तो मम्मी गाली दे दो गाली दो मत चलता मेरे को और मैं सच में चूतिया स्ट्रीम
It's a fantastic start for Fnatic in this grand finals. I'm your host, Ningsu, and I'm back here with Petra and Kakuka. Now, you can really... Are we bothering you? You're taking notes?
No, I was just taking some notes, and you know that my memory is very bad, and there was something that I wanted to talk about.
I thought it was a bit. I was going to be like...
No, it's not a bit. It was just me just making sure that I say what I want to say.
Okay.
Nice drawing, actually.
I'm terrible at drawing. Do you want me... It's not Team Liquid, but I can make a drawing of this split. The last time that you asked me was also split.
You should. But my question was going to be, you can see why Heretic fans split last couple of times.
Yeah, and this was not the kind of situation of we grab a composition that you have and we make it a little bit better. Obviously, it's not pound for pound because we have the difference with the Omen and the Astra, but I was surprised, and the numbers that I was crunching is actually Kayak, who ended up in an amazing plus 23, as you can see. 28 kills in 5 was amazing. I think that from right the get-go, we were speaking about how Fnatic had to repeat what worked for them the other day and shut down Minibu a lot. And Kayak actually went 16-0 against Minibu and his brother.
उसका मन चाहे तो उसमें भी खेलता है
The Boo Killer.
He is literally the Boo
Killers.
Yeah.
Now, Petra, right after the pistol, you looked extremely concerned. So talk me through what you saw in that pistol.
I mean, in the retake from Heretics, it looked like when they took side, there was a bad communication, and it...
हाँ बोला ना तुम लोग ऑन स्ट्रीम बोला ये दो दरिंदर बुल्ले मिला दिए देखो बुल्ले मिला दिए ये दोनों मिलके बुल्ले मिला दिए वो बोर ना इन्ना दोनों जब तक इन्हें अब इन्ना दोनों गांड मार के जाते तीसरा आता इनके पीछे इन्हें इसको देखो शक्ल से कितना शरीफ दिखता है इन्हें देखो है इन्हें शरीफ दरिंदर सबला काटने को दौड़ते एक मिनट चार्जिंग का बंद तुम लोग देखते रहो मैं आ रही एक सेकंड
Yeah, I think that what I like the most about, for example, that round 6 is the conditioning that they were doing. We saw Crashes and him being together in a different light. We know that especially for this map, Kron is going to be alone, defending A. We speak a lot, especially when we see teams like Team Liquid, you know, when Nazi has a very particular way of playing. And we probably would have expected Kron to be in that position, but it was actually Crashes and Kayak creating such a conditioning for Team Heretics that it got literally to a point in the round that they exploded their biggest weaknesses, and it's that they have better back row than them.
Yeah, they did. And Boaster was just walking up like mid. Petra, you pray for these kind of times, right? Just being able to walk up mid for free?
Of course, yeah. And especially when it happens the first time, you're going to expect a little bit of a counter or something, but it was so free. It was the easiest way.
Yeah, why do you think that Heretics just didn't anticipate that? Was it too late, you think, by the time they realized?
It was definitely too late. I think you should do it within the get-go, you know? When it happens the first time, you do something about it, so they're not having this free space. It was a bit weird to me.
Yeah, it was after the second timeout, it felt like, is when they patched that hole. But let's look ahead to Icebox, because this is Heretics map pick. Surely, we're going to get a 1-1.
Right?
I I believe so.
I mean, after a 13-4, I like that you say that, Petra, because Heretics have to find a ground that they're going to be comfortable. In the past, it could have been Haven, maybe the Pearl going up against Fnatic, but of course, today they're not going to have that opportunity. And both of these teams have very good showings, but the last time that we saw these two facing against each other, we saw the Icebox. We saw Heretics changing and moving away from the Tejo. They've said themselves that it is something, a brother, with. And of course, moving into Toronto, knowing that Tejo is going to be nerfed, is a good first step. It's a good right? But is it though? But is it too early? Use it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think that you should exploit it while it's there, because one of the things that makes their Icebox so special, of course, it is the Neon and the flexibility that Miniboo has into performing all those quick and very explosive executes that will be so well comboed with those salvos, with those stuns. Everybody stunned.
Petra, is it too early to move away from that? It might be too early,
but Reen's Sova though.
Yeah, that's true. It is Rian's. I feel like we talk about, you know, maybe the decision, but it's Rian's in the end of the day. And once again, the 4 rounds that Fnatic did lose on split, it was just Rian's doing ungodly things. But as we move on to Icebox as well, on the side of Fnatic, you know, we got to talk about that Sage, Petra. We love it.
We love it.
We love it.
We're Sage fans.
Yeah, but how do you counter the Kayak Sage? What do you do against that?
Oh, that's a tough one actually.
Yeah?
Yeah. I guess bait out is you too early, but he's gonna keep his ball and he will win the round for you. So
he's been very disciplined on this map. I think that's the most important thing, and it's
memory
scary
test as well.
You cannot catch him on mistakes.
Yeah, and Kayak was repeating some of the walls that he had used before, and Heretics fell for it. But I do not blame them. There was so much to clear when you're playing up against the Sage, and Kayak I think did a very good job.
Yo, Buster brother, what is up, mate?
Change in securing different rounds to not be aggressive or not be always and the push and just saving the wall for when it was necessary. Yeah,
he's a very good player, and there's nothing scarier than a Kayak. They got 28 kills on map 1, into map 2 and playing Sage, so there will be no changes. The tank is in the building, so Nathan, I want you to watch this map closely because I'm going to come and ask you a few questions.
ये जो पुराने उसमें है या अभी नया वाला में खरीदना पड़ रहा चूतिया सब फिर से 2 खरीद के वापस भी नहीं आ रहे वो और इन लोगों का वैलेंट लोग क्या है मालूम मसला इनका क्या करते हैं पहले अट्रैक्ट करने को पूरा उसको हाई नोट पे रख के उसको ऐसा पूरा एडवांस बना के छोड़ देते हो एजेंट को जैसे वो यूज होता तो उसको थोड़ा यूज करते थोड़ा अच्छे से यूज करते उसकी गांड मार देते अगले एक्ट में नियॉन को इसी नर्फ करे नियॉन के पहले 2 स्टन थे 2 स्लाइड थे एक वॉल था है कि नहीं फिर आइसो को नर्फ करे
Yeah, I do wonder if they got some more game plans because the Icebox against Team Liquid.
वाई में अभी तक खेला भी नहीं वाई देखा भी नहीं अभी तक मैं चूतिया सा एजेंट कहते चूतिया एजेंट है वाई
I'm looking forward to this one because one, you get Fnatic in the composition that certainly turns heads. But then you also get you get these kind of like really cool things on both sides to keep track of. Now, it can't go like map 1 though.
Surely.
Right?
Surely not.
Right?
I mean, it does require a bit of an adjustment. Again, we are sitting kind of towards the top of Heretics map pool here.
Yes.
Fnatic have looked great since adopting this Gecko and Sage composition. Well, almost feels like a bit of a throwback, but so many moons ago. But for Heretics, it's going to be tricky. They have to resort back to that anti-plant sort of style of play. Whether or not that really suits Heretics and the way they like to defend, we'll have to wait and see.
I like this. Look, it makes Heretics have to work, even though this is on paper a strong map for them. 4-1 this year, obviously on the other side 1-1, right? So let's see if they can hold up to the test. Let's see how many sheriffs are out as well. Benji gonna have 1, otherwise it's Ghosts barring Woot. And on the other side, 2 Ghosts, 1 for Alpha, 1 for Crashy. So Heretics on the attacking side, of course, that meaning Fnatic on the defense. And you're all up to speed, and it's 1 map to Fnatic, and it was 13-4. So yeah, look, I don't blame you. Maybe you're making a bit of dinner, you know, having a beverage. You missed map 1. But luckily it's a best of 5, and here on Icebox, we yet to even see blood drawn.
Nano has been cleared, so
ये रीटेक करे ये लोग जीत गए अगर ये रीटेक करे लोग इजी जीत गए लिख के ले लो जीत गए लोग
in the post any information here for Crashies to act upon. Heretics sit back looking pretty comfy here, no flank coming through either.
Yep, about to mention Rian still had that shock dart, just gets utilized. First bit of stall towards the spike here. Heretics not feeling until now.
अरे
oh my god,
क्या मार रही है
now what the hell, finding both the wall goes up, looking to try and chip that down, but you got Wingman doing what Wingman does. A boost, and he got the knife off. He does the best he can, but it's not good enough. A patient retake works so well.
Easy retake रे. अरे सच में बोलो aim defense.
There's a small
ना
window
game
to punish that
defense,
one.
ना game sense defense, aim defense.
It's so tough.
वो लोग का
Especially when you lose
strength भी
two
अच्छा
players
है.
as quickly as they did. With the
Strategy
grand
अच्छा है.
reveal off the wall. Salvo's coming through, forcing a couple of members of Heretics forwards. See here,
Slide
Peter's
गलत
just
लग
in
गया
no
है
man's
बेचारे.
land. Desperately trying to slide around.
The util layering is actually really nice.
Holy guacamole! I'm the classic!
कितना देने का अभी?
Holy guacamole. It's a big call. This
ऐसा
could be a
करता
big
क्या?
punish.
कितना
Crash has got to be
देने का
cautious.
वो
Does get out with his life because we can see how quickly those gaps can get shut down when you have
बोला
Mini
बोला.
Boo playing that Neon. So you do need to be very, very careful with your timing. But for now, no harm, no foul. We see if Fnatic can keep themselves in the right place here. Mini Boo does have a sheriff. Everyone else on Heretics just down on those classics. So going through the motions. Do need to kind of acquaint themselves with what they're going to be dealing with up against Fnatic, right? This is a very different composition with very, very different win cons. Okay, all good. Rienz and Miniboo have fallen, so they've secured most of the site here, really. None of those extremities even being pressured. It's all very much one-way traffic. Benji and Woot, good luck. Crashies. It's farming time. Could be easier. And in-zone flawless here too.
Get the tally running for Fnatic today.
In-zone are loving them. They're loving them. Couldn't ask for a better outcome, but look, this is where it needs to start here for Heretics. They've got to get acquainted and reaccustomed to dealing with these compositions or this style of approach that Fnatic wants, but you got to learn fast. You can't let it go like map 1.
Oh,
Christ.
Look disgusting. Oh my
Kayak's so good today. Like, he's always been good, but like this is
I mean, yeah,
a
he's
little on
looking
top.
gifted today. Gonna continue to be an issue for Heretics. Actually, a walk down mid here. Fnatic. Benji unable to really punish that, but maybe try and backfill this space with the poison orb. Catch a glimpse of Chronicle. Damage trade-off here.
अब जान में जाना ही.
Heavily prioritizing mid here. Maybe trying to catch a
निकाल लेते bonus भी.
backside of this site exit.
अभी मारता देखो head.
Yeah, this is tough though for Crashies.
तुम ना देखो कल head कैसा मारता देखो.
Get run down here. We could see how isolated he was for a moment. Now he's got the support coming back in. That's a player spotted there. He's caught a glimpse. I think that was a Woot potentially.
Yeah.
But Heretics being held for now.
फेंक दे.
And Fnatic aren't fighting into it yet. They're happy to play on these retakes. We know what they're going to be going for here. Heretics will be able to get this plant uncontested thus far.
Again, a ton of util. Most notably, obviously.
क्या लगता है retake कर पाएंगे ये लोग? आ रहा cockroach आ रहा cockroach आ रहा cockroach आ रहा.
Try and pave the way here with the drone.
Here we go. Here comes that flood, you can see it. Rien's on the forefront of this. Woot doing well, but it's Crashies off the back of the flash. Rien still holding the line. Little bro goes in and takes away the crosshair positioning. Overwhelmed. Fnatic break it back in. Miniboo and Benji still alive, gonna hold this down. It's not clean enough. Crashies on a heater. 3 kills for him and putting the man advantage towards Fnatic.
What a retake, bro.
Staying alive and Fnatic converting.
क्या retake करे रे?
Back to back. Alfie will be the last
मैं
man
बोल रहा हूँ ना
standing,
aim diff है,
but
clear
around
cut
3
aim diff है और कुछ नहीं है aim diff ही है.
Looks like with the
सिर्फ
purpose
aim
in these
diff.
sort of finals, they want to get Crashies to win that trophy, that regional trophy that seemed to
Anti
have made him
brothers
for so
for
long. And
the finals is gone.
God, they are on a mission.
This is even with Woot finding a kill ahead of actually this retake getting started, Lauren.
वहाँ मारे तब तक नको रे.
So then the util, like I said,
समझदारा.
favouring Fnatic in terms of isolating kills.
I choose you as a man this game. Come on.
Applying pressure and pushing Heretics further and further away from that post plant.
You can do no wrong. This feels like Crashies is ult already. And the other side's still pretty far off. Kayak building towards his, obviously a very valuable piece in the puzzle. Outlaw on deck and a lot of light shields to punish. Do have Miniboo with that stinger. Could do some work. Benji on a Marshall. I mean, it's crazy seeing Heretics this loss so far without an answer because they are such a good team. We know that they're a good team, but here they are not even getting started. They're gonna find Boot. That's a plant denied. Wood's done well to remove Alpha, gives them a little bit more security on the site. Looking for another go.
What the fuck?
Poster! Big
Poster,
impact
brother!
against the lighter weapons, but give him one of those. Rien's and Benji at least got the time on their side, but they're going to need some big boy kills here. Rien's disconnected. He was the one who got that eco round before with the 4 kills on the Sheriff. Just swings wide. It's so easy for Fnatic. They're making Heretics look amateur.
Oh, just looking at cut above today. A grand finals form of Fnatic. Just dialing back into some of that 2023 magic.
Yeah.
God.
I didn't think we'd see this again. Genuinely, this level of dominance, I didn't think we were going to see. We obviously look at Heretics as the best of 2024 for us. EMEA's, real forefront runner. But they're just
Holy
so
shit, I look good. I look good.
You do. You're nailing it. He even swore. Oh my god. And it's a very quick timeout for Heretics.
I believe it was just back-to-back round 4 timeouts called.
I think so. It was 4 or 5.
It was 4 or 5 in map 1, but
he is one of my for a reason. Makes it look beautiful, right? Like really, really pretty Valorant. But at the moment, he can't even find impact. They're not playing sites, right? They've been playing these lovely retakes, very nice. They're completely nullifying Miniboo here. He's having nothing.
4-0. 13-0
say 2 off the Hunters through, 1 away from the lockdown. Woot does have his ultimate.
13-0 easy.
Whether or not you're going to see them lean a little heavier on those ultimates. The next few rounds here, obviously.
Didn't get his retake started for so long.
They really have.
Defender. Attacker is
10% above average.
Benji fishy marta around.
There's always that potential of a pace change or a look change, right? They've been playing these kind of deeper positions.
Benji fishy marta.
Forefront. Big greens out for Kayak.
किधर कर रहा है? कहीं wall चूतिया से wall लगा के off कर रहा हूँ कहीं तो.
Could be a problem here if Heretics looking to contact up once again.
Take flight.
It's already Kayak hitting that rotate. Drone here to
किसको sound आएगा?
वही अपना वाइपर को. Maybe sell something. And nobody really close enough to feel the pressure off that.
Benji, but he's so patient. Yeah, locked in. Punishes Alpha for that mid-walk. But you're looking at the extra body. The bouncing drone draws the eyes away, but the trade is still there. So you have the man up to the good after the early work coming out from Benji. They have the lockdown. They also have Wood's ult here, so there's a lot to be played with. Now, do they catch a glimpse? No, early back away coming out from Crashes.
Concern's going to be that actually Fnatic are going to regroup here, maybe go for the resin tube. As Heretics now look to plant on 8.
30 seconds left.
Afia back on his feet. Still bring things to level pegging here, 4v4.
This is our dance.
You want more? Here's more.
किधर से किधर मारता
है? The ult going to go through. A deeper look this time. Operator rings out a shot, so they know that's there.
Benji's got the lockdown here. It's a very late tool here. They say invested. Got to get moving.
Yeah, they really do. But the ult looking to maybe try and handle that. Going to force the fight here. Poster clears front sight. That Rien's gone. They're on towards the fuse. They've got to be able to deal with this. Heretics, you got to get going.
Plant galat kare!
Easy! Job done! Fnatic carry on the wall!
galat plant kare re!
Where are you?
देखा? बेचारा वहीं स्पैम मारने तो बैठ गया.
4 successful diffuses.
कोई भी यहाँ करता प्लांट, वो लोग वहाँ क्या करने जा रहे?
Again, Miniboo just
यहाँ करते प्लांट, उन्हें वहाँ करा ये पे. देख, हगा प्लांट. नहीं बराबर ही है, स्पैम गलत मारे क्या?
Through the snake bite as well. A little late on the util from
भी लेट आया उसके ऊपर.
But again, some question marks behind the wall. Only the sound cue to go off.
मारता रे.
Back, no secrets. Start of this round, Benji got to be careful. It's a double walkout once again from Fnatic. And best in this time.
अरे लोग का aim differ है, इन लोग game बहुत अच्छा खेलते हैं.
Up against Alpha, but as you said, wins it out in that 1v1. Doesn't need the back up to it. Minibu doing his
नहीं उन
usual
लोगों का
route on top of the fridge,
Fnatic
but
का aim
Kayak
बहुत
gets
अच्छा
to stay
है
alive.
Fnatic का ना पूरा उन लोगों का
And here we are, similar scenes.
सबके अंदर एस मारने का
A couple less ults. Well,
power
Chronicle's got his,
वैसे
Boaster's
लोग
got
हैं।
his. Here we are, away we go. Minibu can't escape.
एक cult में फंसाता है अब वो।
Boaster catches him. He's on an absolute tear.
He's going to trade off pits here as well, actually.
Yeah, counter roll, and they are in this one. This is about to get really messy. Good luck, observers. Good luck, you viewers. Oh, Woo catches Chronicle on the drive-by. This is just now absolute pandemonium. But Fnatic clearing house. Boaster, someone, please, someone, please stop him.
क्या ही करता?
Ridiculous is happening here. This is a nightmare.
अभी तक भी domination, अब भी domination.
Call it daylight robbery.
Sentinels के सामने ये दुनिया में कोई भी नहीं जीत सकता.
Another diffuse stuff.
के ले ले.
With bodies still standing for Heretics.
काना को सिखाओ. चल रहे.
देखो नहीं सिखाना ना.
Sentinels पूरा player है. तीन के नाम बोल दे रहे.
6-0.
तीन बोल दे मैं अपने स्ट्रीम पे नंगा नाच तू.
I think really starting to feel the heat. Another timeout called here.
एक मिनट.
From Heretics.
इधर आ.
अभी क्या नहीं तो अभी के
अरे इधर आ अभी के इधर आ शक्ल
अभी खाली किस मालूम
It feels like it, because what the hell has just happened to Fnatic?
और
It's like,
शक्ल दिखा तू कंटेंट दे रहा तू कंटेंट दे रहा तो आ जा.
honestly.
Well, again, credit to that, but during stage one they said, look,
Sentinels
everyone's
के टीम
having a
के
good time. We're
बोल एक नाम बोल.
the best we've ever felt internally as a team.
और बोल.
We thought it was just the lack of mini, but honestly, it seems more.
सीना का आगे क्या आता? सीना के
Everyone's
आगे.
big chilling, everyone's happy.
John.
Good spirits.
John.
Everyone
एक
looks
बोल.
on the same page.
और
together.
एक
That's
बोल
at the
दिखा
point of the
तू.
season
एक
where I
बोल.
think Crashy's started to come out of his shell a little bit.
ऋतिक रोशन का मूवी कौन सा है बोल एक.
Fnatic have looked fairly flawless since then. Even when, like I said, these are the
गाना
two teams that took losses off each other.
Yes.
And no surprises there.
Bang.
On paper,
Zekis.
evenly matched, you could argue.
Zekke ने चूके
Discussion
वो
of
भी.
form on the day.
हाँ पुराने प्लेयर के एक तो भी नाम बोल.
I mean, see, Rian's down
Shroud.
at 6, Minibu down at
Shazam.
6.
अब बोल तू बोल एक बोल एक बोल.
Saying that about
पुराने
Heretics.
उसमें.
हाँ सेंटिनल में.
Fine, Heretics one.
Shazam.
शज़ाम में बोल दिया. उनको छोड़ के बोल ना तीन छोड़ के बोल.
Which was a rare thing itself, but Fnatic
Noobs.
finding solutions where others simply could not.
बड़े शेर के साथ नहीं लड़ने का बेस्ट वॉच पार्टी स्ट्रीमर.
Great, a little bit of a question mark on mid here, but there's actually nobody on the other side for Fnatic to really
इतने
feel that
चांटे
pressure.
मारेंगे ना उसका सेकंड
टेंस भी था टेंस
का सेकंड टीम है वो.
टेंस भी था.
Operator noted nice and early hit.
बेस्ट वॉच पार्टी स्ट्रीमर ही कह दे.
Invested, but Heretics seem happy to continue towards 8.
जान दे रहे. ग्लोबल एक्सपर्ट्स के नाम बता दे. इंडियन टीम.
Just contacting up so far.
Indian
Indian
player
player
तो
now
बोल,
invested as they
Indian
look to
player.
burst through.
डाइवर्ट नको कर.
And Crashy still holds a lot of space on the side here. They can play back in towards backside. Yeah, Crashy gets away with murder playing this out. Not cleaning up there for Chronicle. And Benji quick on his feet, taking a fight back, but an overpeak almost. Desperation, frustration being shown.
बदबू है.
Is left in the cold, iced out on this map. Boo left in a 1v3, and it feels fatal to even walk on the site.
Find a consolation here.
काया क्या कहते हो? खाजा के ना भाई खाजा की है सोच रहे हो?
Financial lead that
Oh!
just shows an elbow.
ऐसा कराया नहीं?
Punish.
यार दिखा
This
पश्चिम
combo
पे बल्लू बल के.
between Kayak and Crashies.
Yeah.
I mean, especially the fact that Minibu gets
बाइसेप पे
caught
मारा
on the
बाइसेप
cross,
पे
but
उसके.
the slow and the
ज़्यादा
salvos,
फ्लेक्स कर रहा था
the
बाइसेप.
coverage is insane.
क्या बोलना?
And look, if we're starting to a bigger game now, because we are getting towards Iron.
Oh!
Talk about bigger things is, is Kayak be that big game player? It looks like he is. Finding masses of impact here. Actually, if anything, overperforming. Now the stakes are even higher.
अरे उसको कैसे मारा नियॉन के भी?
Got a global UAE.
मम्मी मम्मी दी है
I thought it was just here on site, but we got
कुछ भी नहीं दिए.
a copycat out there. 7-0 though. Will Heretics finally claim a round? I can't believe I'm saying that line.
ये जा रहेगा.
Here we are.
इन्हें केजे क्या कर रहा उधर? Spawn पे.
This point, they still need to go through the protocol list of making sure Kayak's not here, that someone's not pushing up, that someone's not doing something else. Seems like a deep position in spawn for Benji, because I mean, he's not having a good time towards middle.
Yeah, I mean, another set piece towards 8.
Please. Don't ever see that.
Just seeing if they can crack the defenses. Not even the defenses. Stick the landing, the post plant. To be honest, you Minibu under a ton of it. He just has nowhere to go. Again, it's Kayak's utility to really slow him down even further. Rien's has fallen here.
These lines that he gets to work with. Still posted up on the angle, not able to be forced away here. Minibu, it feels really hard to press now on top, so he can't even springboard in. And the map gets closed. Look at Alpha's position. As much as they may want to try and join Benji on B, there's a man stopping you. We've got to look at Alpha here. Catching that cross. Oh, it's just simply lovely from Alpha. And it feels clear that slipped the net. The log's been shut down. They know about you, Benji. Oh! I don't know about that shot, though. All right, give me a 1v5, Benji. With 13 seconds. I take it back.
10 seconds.
It's not getting
Spikes down a mid. Yeah, Heretics just being suffocated here. 8 on the board for Fnatic. Very few positives for Heretics to build upon. Again, another situation where I'd love to know what's discussed in both timeouts here. In the first half, Heretics just can't break through. I mean, there isn't a single plant that's happened where it's felt they felt comfortable in terms of the reset, the 2 or 3 seconds after that. And now, unfortunately, Fnatic can kind of toy with that. They can flood as a pre-take or, like I said, look towards denying the plant, applying pressure. But again, Minibu sitting at 0 and 8. He's the one that needs to create space for those safe plants.
And this boy is normally bulletproof, right?
That doesn't just ride on him. It's there. This is not at all. And to be honest with you, what can you do when Kayak is dismantling the front line the way he is?
It truly is marvelous to watch. Again, she's still confident on this, not been forced away at all.
अपन तो गन बॉडी मिलना बोला तो अपन भी खेलना आना चाहिए.
Riot account.
Spots now, doesn't back away, he still has support here. Early wave of util dealt with, but
पुराने
looking
में खेल रहे पुराने मेटा में खेल रहे ये जो पुराने मेटा का है देख ले.
See the hesitation on Heretics, they don't fancy it.
मतलब
अरे
Jumble purchase here, Minibu gonna pop the ult though. Goes forward, nobody to greet him on the other side.
अबे नया अपडेट है ना
this!
उसमें तेजो का एक यूज कर सकता है फिर एक बाद में यूज कर सकता.
And a 5v4 plants in. On a back away.
मारता है.
The plant's denied. And there's nowhere for Heretics to run. There's nowhere for them to hide. Fnatic surrounding, as you said, smothering them this map. They want them dead. Just look at this absolute dominance. Fnatic are in full finals form.
Knocking on the door of double digits now. Ultimates here for Heretics. I mean, Hunter's Fury been available for a while, but like I said, it's just Heretics can't catch their breath in some of these rounds.
Ah.
Kayak sitting at 9-1 now. He was leading the charge.
This guy's prime simple in the team.
Thank God Prius is not here.
Otherwise we wouldn't be catching.
If there's a 1v2, we know who we're not watching. Wall up though.
और यार Minibu क्या मारा रे?
A couple more of those and we're back in form. But and that is plant denied. It's not the most flashy of kills, but he's still here. A show of force. Forced away, nice work actually, that's really good. They've got to keep him oppressed in this, and Kaya can't dance fast enough. Rien's kicks into muscle memory. Getting good damage. Crashes does have ult Kron with the operator.
Don't see it often. I'm here for it though. Try and deny the plant once again. Force him back out, yeah, Chronicle wide on the first, but doesn't actually take any damage here.
Yeah, I think he fancies going back over to the Vandal. They got to try and clear this out fast though. 40 seconds, still no plant here. And Fnatic still trying to find a fight back. Doing well. Nice patience from him, making this difficult to find security.
Look how long it's taking though for Heretics to establish some sort of control.
30 seconds left.
Comfort. Finally the plant comes through. Alpha and Chronicle. Last two standing, going to probably try and look to hold on to this operator here. This Chronicle finds one or two in quick succession.
बच गया साला.
This one's going to simmer away. So a break in what felt like the faultless run. Heretics finally carving a bit of room, and it feels like a lot of back and Mini Boo there as well. Doing really good stuff, taking them some key engagements. And, okay, Chronicle, you know, you're allowed to miss one or two, but Mini Boo finally getting on the board, really, Mike. I mean, maybe he's had a couple filler kills here and there. I don't know if he even has, but maybe just warming into the game a little bit.
Dare I say those were his first three?
I do want to see the board afterwards.
Certainly in terms of getting him online.
Yeah, first three,
Getting
it
him
looks
into
like.
this map here. Beautiful opener onto Boaster. Not much to do about that. Unfortunately, Kayak gets the timing on that first tag when he was in a really rough spot. I think probably
it was hard. We won. Okay, like good job.
he doesn't want for his teammates to take one of those tags on his behalf either. Again, just to catch in there. Somber mood in the Heretics camp down on the stage. Have to get themselves back into this. And the best they can hope for is a 9-3 once again.
Yeah, and we look for diversity from Mini Boo, and it's a lot on his shoulders, and it shouldn't just be him, but he does get away.
अगर नियॉन को छोड़ के कौन सा भी एजेंट रहता था पक्का मारता था.
And again, I hate to ask so much of one man, but in this role, we need to see him find that sort of footing. He can develop that deep into this. Last time there was a shot through the smoke pretty much to catch Boaster back sight. This time around, playing over towards Snowman, Alpha playing over towards sight, but a plant now had.
Lockdown comes through potentially quite early on. Well, Heretics going to try and clear some ground here because Fnatic have a chance to contest this.
Yeah, they're going for a fight on it too. And already Boaster right in the trenches. You can see all the util just everywhere. Fish on fish action. Boaster does get detained. And now it's going to get messy. Chronicles cleared Rien's. They got to know that there's someone else over towards yellow. You got to feel there is, but layers of the post plant come in. They can't afford it.
Spam कर रहा रे.
Every single time we'll have answers.
I mean, that is just heartbreaking. The lockdown all but secures this front space.
टोरंटो में.
And Heretics are unable to
क्या face off होता होगा रे वो.
Looked perfect for them.
सच में मजा आता रे.
That's where the first kill comes through from Chronicle, but Rien's is the furthest forward. Then Mini Boo gets caught on the cross.
Zekken! Zenex! क्या है रे भाई?
Again with the wall and wingman, Fnatic have 5 bodies to basically stare them down. 10-1 the score
अरे पर आसपास भी बहुत
Just when you think Heretics might have a chance to string something together. Snatched away from them.
उन्हें जेट को मारता रे जेट सारा डैश मारता ना जिधर डैश मारता तो रेंज पे मारता है.
ऐसा देख नहीं ऐसा देख
रहा है. Heretics nothing to their name.
मुझे मिल के मार के चले जाता.
Barely anything to Woot's name. A stinger in hand for him.
Yeah. Mini Boo again having to really try and thread the needle on those front lines, but we know it's the post plant that's still a problem as well. The retake's solid, and Alpha sharp as ever. 2 kills.
Oh my god!
अरे मारा रे.
Back on a tear though. He's fighting back, trying to activate, trying to give him a chance, trying to do anything. Held back by a wall, denied the chance to punish the res, I guess, at this point, but it's still a 4v3.
Desperately trying to get Mini Boo back out from behind enemy lines here, but 38 HP, he's feeling the pressure.
Yeah, but he can try and come up with the goods. No, dealt with by Crash, he's isolated, as you said. Boo and Benji on those back lines now got an army to face! They take down the majority. And now the 1-for-1, you got to mark your man here. Alpha up against Benji. Alpha's already had so much impact.
Oh! Nice one, Benji. दो कैसे मार दिया रे उन्हें?
Is all they can report, Mike.
Another huge comeback asked of Heretics in map 2 here. Yeah, unfortunately Fnatic just looking formidable. Heretics unable to really string anything together. Everybody from Fnatic. Again, pulling their weight, to be honest with you, there's not really a weak link so far.
It's all looking fantastic so far. At a 10-2. We do have a little bit of a treat for you guys playing at home.
10-2.
From the one and only.
2 round निकालना है. 3 round.
That is right. No, Natang. He's back with us in EMEA, Natang.
इधर वाला MBA.
EMEA. European countries.
वहाँ पे फिर कहीं को अरबिक में लिखा हुआ है?
नहीं वो सब उसमें आता है। ये देख ये मैच भी खत्म हो गया होगा आपको तो। IPL का मैच खत्म कर दिए होंगे। 12 बॉल में 6 रन। अरे 0 विकेट रे।
GT.
एक भी विकेट के बिना 10 विकेट से चेस कर रही रे।
हाँ जो परसों कल का मैच का KKR वर्सेस RCB
वॉश आउट हो गया बारिश की वजह से।
1 पॉइंट।
हाँ शुभमन गिल 100 करने का तो 4 मारना, फिर 1 रन रेलना, फिर 6 मारना। बॉल्स विल हैपन। EMI का फुल फॉर्म क्या है रे? ये कंट्रीज का नाम है, यूरोप, मिडिल ईस्ट, अफ्रीका।
कंट्री EMI कंट्रीज बोल के मारा तू पागल।
EMI बोल तो वही है रे।
EMI
यूरोप, मिडिल ईस्ट, एशिया, अफ्रीका। फुल फॉर्म उसका।
Heretics is maybe like
EMI
overrating sometimes.
EMI.
They need to find their own like how do you say like rhythm, and maybe they can come back this, you know, like they need to find themselves. Maybe they are like crashing out or somehow, but if they wake up, they can do it.
We've seen it before.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and thanks for joining me. I hope
Late.
you have a here in VCT EMEA. But let's send this back to Pansy and Hybok and see if Heretics can indeed bring this back.
And look, I'm kind of with them, right? I'd love to see Heretics give me something to believe in. As it stands, it's a discredit to not reward Fnatic for what they're doing, but this doesn't feel like the normal Heretics we see, Mike. There's something off. They look quiet today. You heard it down on the stage. They just don't look like they're present yet. So it has to start now, and it has to start on this half.
I think as well, you think back the way they were able to reset and, I guess, bounce back versus Liquid yesterday.
Right there.
A stark contrast.
आजा।
Here in the grand finals. I'm curious whether that actually
नेक्स्ट
Heretics was going to dig a little deeper
अरे
there, but
नेक्स्ट
we're
मैप
curious
चूतिया
towards
मैप
B
है,
main.
इसके लिए देखने का मन
Still
नहीं कर
holding
रहा
down the
है।
fort, but
एकदम
let's put this rotation in.
होता 2 मैप 3 5 बेस्ट ऑफ 5 है रे।
बोला तो 3 मैचेस
Got to be conscious of these, of giving up basically 3
3-0
plants
है रे।
with this composition that Fnatic are playing.
देख ले। नेक्स्ट मैप फ्रैक्चर है वो चूतिया मैप है, नहीं तो मैं
Criticising
देखता
a
हूँ।
couple of those commitments towards side.
की बच गया है ना।
Boot is very lucky to be alive there.
Yeah, and all this time though, you can see that slow, steady progress over towards the A side. So Rien's got to be cautious now. Does have Benji with him, but plenty of bodies here for Heretics.
बोल सकता हूँ।
Two just behind the wall. I'm going to send Wingman in for plant.
30 seconds left.
Can't really do much to deny. Actually, they do deny the plant. So nice work early on here. Boo able to survive as well. So far, Heretics ticking the box. Look at this time, 20 seconds now. Boo's been forced to move out. Does he get to live? I don't know. It looks like he's managed to stay alive, but Bo's delaboured. This is better. Maybe Heretics getting a bit of a rhythm now. 10 seconds, we're looking like a melon sort of round. Heretics holding on here. It ain't pretty, but it's getting the job done. 5 seconds, you just got to live.
They missed it, I think.
I think that's too late. I think it was down to 3 seconds. It doesn't matter. Brilliant from Heretics. If that's what it takes, stalling them out. Dealing with the U-turn, it's a step in the right direction.
Like I was going to say, there's the fact that they have to now resort back towards this commitment to site or denying this early plant. The fact that there's a second person this time around pressuring that Sage wall means they can deny that first plant. Yeah, I mean, Boaster looked as if he was going to take a freebie, but yeah.
One enemy.
After that, I think it's left so late in the day.
We're gonna keep this up.
Fnatic have to sit back and watch this fist around pass them by.
कुछ भी बोले जा रहा तू तो।
अरबी की चेक।
Just a sheriff in the hands of Kayak for Fnatic.
मारा रे।
I was gonna say Benji, the only one with a pistol, but it's fallen already.
निकल जाते क्या राउंड?
Yeah.
इसका नहीं
And it looks like
इसका?
protect the VIP. Kayak being escorted around the map. Boo's got to be careful. He doesn't want to get caught on an island. The rest of Heretics have to try and solve the gap now of losing a player early. Trying to jump spot this. You can see the paranoia building about that someone could have walked tube maybe, but I think he's spotted at least something on the cross here. That should be relayed.
Rian's obviously coming to reinforce that. Boiler.
देखो कलरफुल चीज़ बहुत पसंद है कलरफुल है बोल के
on the other side of this, so there's a chance for them to
कलरफुल इंसान है
वो कितने तक मुक्ता हुआ इसलिए but immediately 2 more members of Heretics here.
तू रेनबो को सपोर्ट करता है क्या
Gotta be careful. There's a lot of util and Kayak is firing again. Miniboo, lovely. Takes away Crashies and the plant denied. So this is big work. They're doing what they need here.
30
Getting a bit
seconds
close
left.
though, and I'm a bit worried about this. But the line should be caught by Boo though. Yeah, there it is. Shot in the back. Nice. Now just Kayak. This would have to be an ace, and it's not gonna be. Heretics find a bit of stability. 3 stay alive, and they get up to their 4.
6 rounds still separate these teams. Certainly what you want to see from Heretics here, kicking off the second half. Back in at a slight disadvantage. Oh. Kayak threading the needle. Find Benji here. Again, the only pistol, so he's going to play a little more aggressively.
Timing वारे.
Really, Kayak has made progress towards his ult here on the side of Fnatic. Heretics really, nothing within touching distance. Nothing on the other side of mid here. This time
तेजो का अपडेट आ गया रे लोड़े आ गया देख ले
pressure. But early exploration actually towards B main.
Yeah, good work here from Boo.
Big info, yeah.
A lot of faith in this forward play, but it does get a little bit risky. But the shot doesn't land. Oh, okay, at least the trade comes in from the Mosh going down, and that's better. Doubling in on it and catching. Nice from Rian's, good positioning. Bill's on a knife's edge though. Crash is still trying to close in. Alpha still here. Nice clear of Maze. This is better from Heretics. Forced to fight and willing to be up to the challenge. This is a necessary conversion, and it is. Heretics are not out of it yet. The first real signs of life.
This is exactly what you want to see versus this Fnatic composition.
Heretics
taking the initiative, allowing Fnatic to comfortably set up as 5, and I think it's probably set in motion by Boo's progress over towards B main. You see the flash. It looks a little awkward early on. The Alfia catching that, but unfortunately Chronicle's so flashed up that.
Whoa! इतनी पब्लिक बैठी हुई है।
तुम्हारी टीम जाती ना तो नोकिया की आवाज निकालो फिर। थोड़ा नहीं तो चांटा था सड़क।
String it together, Heretics. You gotta make up for map 1, which was not a pretty affair. This is your best chance yet. Start feeling out the game. Close here. Wood's got to be cautious, not get timed on this. The barrel.
नहीं देखा क्या Wood to score?
Crashies gets gifted a kill on the timing, and now Heretics don't have control on this A site.
He's desperate to try and get the rifle, just snatching it away. Does have the res as well, so. Well, not. I was going to say whether or not Fnatic can try and play a little aggressively. They probably want to put that rifle into the strongest position they can. Still coming through, but a lot of util burned up early on here.
Okay, now the back line, pressure. Chronicles got Miniboo, we're down to Rian's Boo and Benji. They've got to try and keep this clean, but they can't. This is difficult, and there's that res now invested. Time up against them. This is dangerous. Rian's and Benji got to get that defuse going, and they start too many of them. Fnatic punishing Heretics right back and puts up to 11. That momentum suddenly stalled out now as Heretics held on 5.
It's a pay safe card, Thrifty. Nonetheless, Lauren. Bitter pill to swallow, but again, just catches a glimpse ahead of the weapon model, but regardless, that's the opener.
Nice!
I guess a slight pace change as well in the eco for Fnatic. There pretty quickly.
Felt like Crashy's kind of identified that space earlier in these rounds. He can creep up pretty close, but as it stands, still a buy in hand here for Heretics, but we've got to see this now. Near on flawless, 11 up against them. Boot done well to identify the space he's been given, but maybe feeling a bit of pressure here early on. Doesn't want to outstay his welcome or be caught early. That could be the death of them. 4 players committed towards that A side, so now he's got to fall away slightly. Still trying to posture up here, but playing a dangerous game, Mike.
It is going to be the first exploration for Fnatic here, but threads the needle. Crashies will fall.
Poison's off.
First blood drawn here. Fnatic not shying away from that.
Poison orb.
No. So back to business for them. Boo doing just dreamy work for them. Stalling out, bit of chip damage here and there. Even getting that first kill, but still, Kayak's a problem. Finds Mini Boo, brings it back down to a 4v4, and Alpha's position in middle. Feels like vengeance here if he does catch Benji, but Benji's against it.
Still an alarm bot there, though. Alpha's got to deal with that to get a little closer to this, whether or not he's even called upon.
Oh my god.
I think he's maybe aware of it, but Kayak in a ratty spot on the wall.
Is so ratty. Surely you don't expect it. I don't think they do. Oh, they do!
They clear it!
Nice work from Benji, so heads up. Catching Kayak, but Chronicle gonna fight back, and now we're gonna see the ults coming in, but the defuse is still going. Benji's not stopping! Full on defuse right under their noses. Bit of vengeance on that one. So Heretics staying alive, getting up to 6.
Taste of their own medicine.
Absolutely.
Heretics can stabilize now. And not much of a margin for error, to be honest. Fnatic sitting at 11. Ultimate's starting to come fruition here for Heretics, though.
Last player standing.
Stiff.
Crashies, I have done with you.
Still look pretty comfortable for Fnatic, but I guess that extra man to the good pays off in that sort of scenario.
You could not
Big
connect
pressure on
him.
Boo early this time. He can't stick around at all. You can see the rotation already from Heretics. He's called in for help here. Got Mini Boo on the way. Fnatic make an early stake of claim towards B long here, and Boo wants to get back a little bit towards this. So going to play back yellow. Fnatic falling away.
Surprised if they do commit towards B. 2 extra bodies invested here.
Connect ho ja, connect ho ja, connect ho ja, connect.
Supporting Boo, but now already hitting the rotation, you can see on the X-ray. It's like a bit of a mid-piece here, actually, from Fnatic.
It looked like Heretics weren't too sure what's going on, really. Now they might have a bit more of an idea. You're seeing a pour on of Util, and they've still got an isolated Boo. He's got to be so nervous about this. From far away, Rien's trying to help him out, but clears a little bit of space, but it's Kayak again denying the support here. This is a very valuable ult coming in. That's big. Can anyone help him out here? I don't think they can. Miniboo. Hello! Turns around! Catching both players. It's getting messy in middle now. Alpha on 21, a sliding Miniboo takes away 3. Plant denied. Heretics. It may be getting messy, but they're still in control of it with 4 players alive. Foster wants the plant, he's going to get it. But can he get away from the site? I don't think so. Kron's in a bit of a pickle as well. Can't get off. Miniboo doing so well here. Prioritizing the right fight. Can he get the ace? Benji takes it away, but a round nevertheless. I feel we're going to be seeing a Fnatic timeout.
Absolutely. 4 on the round for Miniboo. Dismantling this mid-split. And Kayak, unfortunately, gets locked down. Even though it looked like Miniboo maybe didn't catch him, but credit the target focus in that scenario. Tease up Crashies with the stun as well.
And look, he was having a brutal start. We were talking about it here.
I mean, yeah, he's trading even now, 13-13.
Massive upswing on the second half. Heretics fans finally back on their feet. I mean, for the Heretics side, it was a brutal map 1 to witness. Only 4 rounds gathered. Here, a rough first half as well. So very uphill. So this feels like one of the first check-ins we've actually had from Fnatic. I feel like we haven't seen much of the coaching staff having to kick in.
Yeah. It's certainly been something that's been led in game. And to be honest, I mean, hasn't felt like much has gone wrong for Fnatic, but maybe just a check-in here. See, obviously, it's pretty quiet from the coach camp, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe Boaster leading this discussion.
Got in mind. Again, Heretics so far. Hard to characterize what's working right for them, but it feels like they've kicked in, and it certainly does help. The Miniboo's really activating now. Benji having a good map too. Also with Fnatic here, we still got the Viper Spit, the lockdown with Alpha, we still got Crashies with that Teo ult. And then for Heretics, you still have the lockdown with Benji. Not much else close by though. A couple of these ults were invested semi-recently, so for them, guns in hand. Let's see what they have in mind here as we go back through after the timeout from Fnatic. The Heretics then get aggressive, a common response to these sort of timeouts.
I'm considering it, but again, versus this composition, it's so easy for Kayak to isolate you with those slow orbs. See, Miniboo to get bogged down in that slow. Problematic. Rian's now tasked with supporting Boo over towards B. And they're still walking on this.
I'm worried about Grun's flash though. If he's holding just like a vert flash on this, actually gonna catch him. Oh, he's been caught off here. Benji though gonna eat it back. It's that again, it's a mess between these two. The trade's coming early. Benji lost on one side, Kron on the other.
This is all to try and contest the lockdown potentially. Not giving up the space, Lauren.
No, they are really unwilling to fall away from it. And the stun and the swing. Miniboo, again, we're getting trade after trade on this. Both so stubborn to give this up. Miniboo, oh my god, you absolute beauty. Up and over. Gets Alpha, but he can't deny the lockdown. He's done a lot of work here early on. Has to back away now.
Rienz, though, will be given a chance.
Oh, he's sticking around.
Disrespecting the lockdown here. And obviously, the tank comes through, but it's Miniboo. 3 on the round for him, 8 on the board for Heretics, Lauren. Starting to claw their way back towards tying Icebox up.
And I love that. I really love that. As said, almost too stubborn to back away from that, knowing what their win con was here. Fight for this, make it work for any of the audacity for the up and over. Rien's willing to die for the cause. Goes in for one, knows he'll be detained, it's fine. Miniboo's there. These are just big steps back for Heretics. Off the back of a timeout from Fnatic too. That crushes those adjustments. Heretics giving us a reason to get excited now. Showing some of their own pedigree. And keep it up. Fnatic looking like they might have been waiting on this though, so careful as they proceed.
And there's been a couple of times Fnatic have proactively walked up, but sliding out actually from Boaster. He finds Woot with the Sheriff. Miniboo. Got to tuck his tail. Retreat from here.
Boo, careful, careful, careful. You can see how hungry Kayak was on that. I shut down towards him, but Boo's going to back away towards Yellow. Plays it well, and Miniboo now in support. Steady progress being made now. Boo caught there. There was no safety for him there. He felt how uncomfortable it was to hold, but Miniboo's on the side. Takes away Kayak, the heavy hitter, and resets.
As if they still want to follow through here.
All missiles away.
Who's starting to activate though, looking much sharper. Gonna have something to say about this, but March should potentially come through. Benji's gonna try and deny it.
Lovely.
So no freebie, but still 30 seconds to work with.
They do have that lockdown with Benji. There it is. And it looks like Miniboo's almost tasked him. Do you fancy coming in here? But you do have that Teo ult. So they're gonna have to wait this out. Lockdown does get destroyed. It's another attempt at the plant here, drawing eyes over. Rien's in a great position though. Can spot that the plant isn't going down. He's going to deliver. Takes away Kron. Big trades. 10 seconds. Miniboo under pressure, and so is Alpha.
Oh, kya maar raha hai Miniboo?
Miniboo. He's heating up. You said it. Looking sharper round by round.
Now actually at the top of the board for Heretics is Miniboo. They can really channel that energy. What a beautiful opener here from Boaster, but again, a lot of things still going right for Fnatic, so you got to credit the recovery factor here.
Yes.
10 seconds left.
Again, Alpha desperate to get a peek on the first, but Miniboo doesn't bite.
And it's a mark of a great player as well, after a very hard first half, to come back in and be so impactful.
Not just hard first map.
True.
Again,
True.
the first half of this, which was brutal for Heretics. They've taken the reins now, taking control on Icebox.
चूतिया झल्ले
Puts
पीसी
the question back to Fnatic.
Mother
How well
chod.
can you learn on the fly here? First big challenge. First time we're seeing
अरे
this
Redmi Note 8
version
उसका
of
गुल्ला
Heretics throughout
पसंद आ गया
this
इसको
game. Off the back of Mini Boo setting a fire underneath the rest of the boys on Heretics. Fnatic slow and steady on the approach now.
अरे Redmi Note 8 Pro क्या है फिर
Marmot's still
से
there, behind the orb in mid. Maybe we want off another ultimate as well, so a chance to overheat once more. Quite garnered. Actually, Fnatic already feel as if they've got some space to work into on A.
These fakes, they were so good before when we were looking at split. Heretics, I think now the penny's starting to drop potentially, that this may not be finishing towards B. Minibu could be quick on the rotates, but Rienz is the one in danger now. They can't deny this plant, I don't think. Actually, maybe they can. No, Benji's gone down with 13 seconds. Rienz would love to have stored it out, but I don't think he can achieve it. You can see the desperation, the want to. Holding good space on the side, but he's got to be careful now. He needs the rest of the help to come in, but Alpha's taking it down. Kayak swings from backside, all on top, but the backline's one out. And now you've got Boo on a bit of a split in a 1v1 up against Crashies. And that's going to be won out by Crashies. Now Woot, a 1v3 ain't going to happen. Fnatic going back to almost that split approach. Those fakes, so hard to deal with.
And no, down to 10 seconds.
It was so late.
And there's still 2 members to contest the plant. A little dicey there, but Fnatic able to steady the ship. Few crucial kills and get themselves to 12 now.
Hey,
still what, 7-2 on this second half here in favour of Heretics. Do not forget. Res available now for Kayak, 1 away for Chronicle. So the Heretics actually the crack starting to show in the economy. We have Mini Boo's ultimate. Others on the horizon, so they can win another round.
Certainly
recoverable still.
Drone going out.
Nice to see this man early on. Tempted to almost continue forward. Sides against it. How does Fnatic read that? Mini Boo early positioning on this B site, and actually Boo, the one to rotate.
Still kind of posturing here, Mini Boo. It puts in motion this rotation for Heretics. 4 members, well, called it 3 with Benji Fishy still over towards mid, and again the adjustment of the alarm bot catching Fnatic off guard. I believe Alpha looking for that previously.
This feels like almost a blind game of chess against each other, trying to get the pieces in the right place for the next move.
This could be awful timing though for Heretics.
Yeah, and it almost feels like the anti-fake that's going on here. You've got now them trying to posture towards that A side, drawing all eyes over there. But look who's here. One man that you'd want to try and hold this down. Mini Boo, who's been a monster. He's come alive here, 13 seconds, they got to deal with him fast. Oh, it's a really courageous play that falls apart. And now with the plant looking very likely, they have to go back into this without their big player. Crashy's on the lurk as well. Takes away Benji. Rienz wants to clear middle, but I don't know if he gets what he wants here. Kron trying to catch pretty full. Heretics still on for this.
4v3 though, Rienz tagged up. Ultimates to play off and Boaster getting curious here.
Oh, this reposition could be nasty, couldn't it? I don't think they have any idea. The timing on this could be completely devastating. It looks like it is. Brilliant position for Boaster, good trade, but they can't get half here. It's a fight that has to be had. Boo desperate to hold on. But it's all 13 tonight. Fnatic pulling it together.
GG guys, हो गया. Easy win for them, brother. इजी विन. चलो गाइस, मैप 3 का मेरे को पता नहीं. मैप 3 में खत्म हो जाता, फ्रैक्चर में देख रू नहीं. ये माँ की चोट, उसके ऊपर से फेस कैम का कुछ मला पड़ा है. देख तो मैं ट्राई कर तो कुछ सेट करने के लिए. थैंक यू, दैट्स इट फॉर टुडे एंड बाय.